I welcome you all. I request the dignitaries to come on this dais. CA Mangesh Kinare, our CCM, CA Nitesh Kothari, our chairman, CA Abhijeet Kelkar, our speaker and RCM, CA Vimal Agarwal, CA Jignesh Shah. I also request CA Sandeep Jain, CA Preeti Agarwal, CA Anadi Vasai to come on the style for lighting the lamp. I request all the members to stand for the ICAI motto.
येष सुप्तेषु जागृति येष सुप्तेषु जागृति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
Friends, last week we lost two of our members, CA Bharat Shimlani and CA Rakesh Agarwal. We would like to pay some respect to them, so we observe 2 minutes silence. Thank you. Friends, almost last 1 year, we were preparing for GST and the GST regime entered. The most important aspect of that is filing returns. After going through the training programs for last 1 year, still there are doubts, still there are apprehensions, still there are things to be studied, especially filing return. Today we have a great opportunity. We have excellent speakers. They are going to guide you, and I am sure that you will be 100% equipped to file returns very clearly without ambiguity after this session. Now I request our branch chairman CA Nitesh Kothari to welcome our chief guest CA Mangesh Kinare, our central council member, with a flower bouquet to inaugurate the session. Saplings are very good, that during the monsoon session it will grow, and probably at the later year that we may give flowers. I request our past chairman, CA Vimal Agarwal, to offer the flower bouquet to our guest speaker, CA Abhijeet Kelkar. He is an RCM. Now I request our branch chairman, CA Nitesh Kothari, to give the welcome address.
Good morning, friends, seniors and respected members. I, CA Nitesh Kothari, the chairman of Vasai branch of WIRC, welcomes each one of you to a one-day seminar on GST returns. We all have gone through the act. We all have you all might have read, as per my knowledge, at least once or twice the complete act of GST. We have attended more than 2 to 3 seminars, at least each one of you. Now the actual time has come to deliver it or deliver your knowledge by way of returns or filing the returns of our clients, customers, traders, businessmen. Keeping that view in concept, we have kept this seminar. We have organized, and the thought process came just 1 to 2 months back in our mind that we should keep a seminar completely on GST returns. First session, Abhijeet Kelkar ji sir will take about GSTR. After that, Jignesh Shah ji will speak on Tran 1 and Tran 2, and after that, Gaurav Save ji on MIS 1, 2, 3, 4. To start with the seminar, what would be great that we have with us none other than our Central Council member, Mukesh ji. I welcome you, sir, and thank you for accepting our invitation. Sir is not only the CCM, but he is also the Vice Chairman of Board of Studies, and he has played a major role in the new syllabus of our institute, ICAI. He is also presently elected as member of Education Committee, SAFA. So we congratulate sir for that. We also have with us CA Abhijeet Kelkar ji, the one of the most expert speaker on returns, we can say. Abhijeet sir is coming for the second time on returns only at the same venue, sir. We welcome you, sir. Abhijeet sir has yesterday also taken a lecture at our workshop, which is going through on this GCC only, another club building on the 3rd floor. And at the start, as Xavier sir said, that we paid tribute to 2 members, it was really necessary. We got shocked within 3-4 days back when we heard the news of Rakesh Agarwal ji, a member of Bhinder resident. He got brain hemorrhage or attack at the age of just 37. He was a partner at Sunil Patodej and Associates. We were very much shocked. We all know nothing to say about that, what Modi ji has said at the CA Day conference. We think we should show that how much pressure and burden we are taking for the smoother functionality of our economy, of our society, for smooth function of business, for smooth function of economy of the country as a whole. But are we getting the same respect from the society? Say yes or no. Are we getting that much respect which a doctor or an advocate is getting as a CA? We are getting that much respect? No. So why we are taking that much of pressure? Yesterday afternoon we got a news that Bharat Simlani, one of the expert speaker, you can say Mukesh ji and Abhijeet both will agree with me. He was one of the brilliant personality in indirect tax committee. He has authorized some book also, na sir, on indirect tax. He has authorized many books. Today he is also not with us, among us. So what I have decided today in the morning, that I won't be giving a lecture or welcome note to each one of you, but I would just give a small message that, friends, yesterday only we have completed our July income tax returns. Now we have a 20th deadline for 3B. After that, continuous deadline for GSTR returns continuously will go flow. Just a small request I would say, or I would have a small request from each one of you, just maintain your health properly, sir. Just be stress free, do whatever kind of yoga, meditation, exercise, whatever you can do all. It's a humble request from our whole branch, you can say from our whole institute, that please maintain your health, don't be so much stressed. Returns due date are there, we are there, but we are not getting that much respect which we should get after taking so much stress or burden on our shoulders. We are not getting that. We were shocked. Even I was shocked after that day. But we are not getting that much of the respect which we should get from the society if we are taking that much of burden and pressure of the society. But we are not getting that. Anyways, that's not the matter of concern. But what we can do is that we have a family. We all are a family. Let's work together, be stress-free, and don't take that much burden on ourselves or on our tension. Just work as per the convenience. And yesterday we were having a chat with Sandeep ji and the convener of our study circle. He said that we should start a practice of sharing. Sandeep ji said that we will keep a lecture on how to share and how to reduce our work pressure. So with that we will be keeping a lecture on that too, and we will definitely keep a lecture keeping in this mind that we should keep a lecture, Sandeep ji, on stress management, particularly for members, because I guess we have taken many lectures continuously on GST and on awareness, and we are getting, today is our friendship day, but despite of that we all are seated over here, many young chartered accountants I can see, those who are over here, so that shows the sincerity of our profession towards the profession, the members, sincerity of members towards the profession. So that's very great. I salute to all those. Once again, I welcome you all, and be happy, be stress-free. Thank you very much.
First time I came to know that friendship means only youngsters, and people like me should not have friends, or they should not enjoy friends. I am young, but I am going to grow old. That time also I should have friends. Thank you, Chairman sir. We were always guided by some lights. Somebody always help us, guide us, coordinate our efforts for success. One of that star is CA Mangesh Kinare, our Central Council member. I welcome him and I request him to advise us and address you.
Good morning, friends. Dignitaries on the dais, Chairman of Vasai branch Nitesh, the faculty for the first session, Regional Council member from Nagpur, CA Abhijeet Kelkar, showing so much determination that for a couple of days he's there taking sessions on GST, coming all the way from Nagpur. Secretary of the branch, Xavier ji, young at heart, immediate past chairman, Vimal ji, coordinator, other dignitaries, seniors and friends. I understand that there can be some other non-CA members, non-CAs also sitting in the audience, but since it's an institute conference, I thought of talking something about GST, but since Nitesh has started on a different note, I thought that I will take a clue from that and go towards GST. I was not knowing, of course, Rakesh Agarwal ji, but Bharat was a very close friend of mine. Rather, I mean, we shared a lot of things. Since incidentally, I am also practicing in GST. In fact, I am a member of, he forgot to tell, I am a member of Indirect Tax Committee of ICAI, which is instrumental in all these conferences and feedback to the government. And we had conducted the faculty identification program, and in Mumbai, Bharat had helped me a lot. In fact, he took a lot of sessions for faculty training, Bharat Shemlane. When I was a chairman of regional council, I used to call, with fully right, just a day prior also, if suppose a speaker gets cancelled or anything. Of course, he was also a speaker, but sometimes, suppose he is not a speaker and one speaker get cancelled, I used to call him, Bharat, udya tula yaitse. Shemlani tha, but Marathi speaking tha. And he was very active, contributing to the institute. Somehow, some depression has taken toll of him. Now, Nitesh mentioned something about taking pressures. I think by nature, chartered accountants are taking pressures of their client on their head. And if you correlate with what Modi ji is told on the 1st July, in the CA Foundation Day program, personally, I don't feel that it was as negative as people are projecting. Personally, this is individual opinion of mine, because if you take 90% of things he has said really good about our profession, and in fact, whatever hurt us, it has, everybody has got hurt because of his couple of comments. And that comment of his is basically because of our nature, let me tell you. That we are taking pressures of client, we are owning up certain responsibilities which as a professional we need not own up. In fact, I know chartered accountants having entire records also in the office of their client and not advising the client to keep their records at their place. This, in spite of the fact that our course is so, what I can say, qualitative course, in spite of the fact that we have studied a lot in this course, in spite of the fact that we have put in a lot of efforts, just to recollect the efforts we have put in passing the examination, the qualitative efforts, whether we are following the same in our practice. Somehow after qualifying, that quality consciousness, I'm not saying about all, please, but some of us tend to, just forget that quality consciousness and are just worried about what will happen to me tomorrow if one client goes, two client goes, or three client goes. And perhaps out of that fear, we tend to own up certain things which our clients are doing. And unfortunately, we are first one to caught up in these kind of problematic situations of our client. The clients get scot-free, but we are caught because we people, the society, feel that we are the advisors. Unfortunately, we are not even advisors. We are simply the executors of what they want to do, which we should not. And therefore, let us, my advice, or rather my appeal, I'm not that much senior to advise, but my appeal to you all is, let us step into the shoes of what we are supposed to, what society perceives us. Society perceives us as advisors. So let us really start advising actually what is essential for the business community. Most of us, I'm not excluding myself also, otherwise you will feel that बहुत बड़ी बातें कर रहा है. Most of us try to execute what our client wants to do. भाई मुझे इतना टैक्स भरना है, आप जो भी करना है करो. Then it is our headache, it is our responsibility. अरे बाप रे, अच्छा उसने तो 28 तारीख को ला के दिया है, वो बोल रहा है इतना ही टैक्स भरना है. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट इनकम टैक्स राइट नाउ, बिकॉज जीएसटी में और क्या होने वाला है आगे जाके मालूम नहीं. 31st इज द लास्ट डेट. 28 तारीख तक ये कैसे गणित बिठाएंगे? हम गणित बिठाने में बैठ जाते हैं. वी डोंट एडवाइज कि बॉस इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल, योर दिस थिंग्स इज नॉट देयर, सो इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. नहीं मैं नहीं करूंगा और अभिजीत करेगा तो क्या, अभिजीत के पास जाएगा क्लाइंट, फिर मैं डर गया. बट एज ए कम्युनिटी, when we'll be stress free, when I know that if I don't do this, Abhijeet also is not going to do. I'm just taking name for the sake of example. मुंबई से उठ के नागपुर कोई क्लाइंट जाने वाला नहीं है मेरा, मुझे भी मालूम है. But if I'm sure that if I'm not doing, my friend, my colleague is also not going to do the same thing, then perhaps it is the best solution to get stress free. And therefore, as a community, we should come together in terms of actually doing what government is expecting from us. That is advising the right thing, whatever you believe right, and not trying to execute. Remember, they feel that we are doing these things, right? Client को लगता है कि हमने वो जो बोल रहा है वो करना चाहिए. मतलब हम कुछ नहीं कर रहे, हम we are simply doing whatever other people want to do, and what government wants us to do we are not doing, and government feels that we are doing that thing and we are advising it wrongly and they are catching us. So let us not do that, right? I don't know whether I should give it or not. Religious लोग थोड़े गुस्सा हो जाएंगे, but there is one example That is for, no, I'll not mention that because it's something I will say in a good humorous mode, but people will get offended because of the mentioning of caste and religion. So I'll not mention that example, but let us not do something for others, right? Which in the government's perception, we are not, government is thinking that we are perpetrating that. Let us not do if whatever we feel not correct. Coming to, I'll just touch because I'll not take much time in this session. Coming to this GST, as I said, this is happening in income tax. It was happening to a lesser scale somewhat lesser scale in service tax and VAT. Let me tell you that one of the IS officer who was the commissioner of sales tax, when I was the chairman of regional council in 13-14, recently met me after Modi ji's speech. And he said that, I said that, we were just debating, and he was also positive about it. He said that, see, so many things, अब खाली प्रधानमंत्री आपके यहाँ पे आता है और 1.25 घंटा बोलता है, इसका मतलब he values your profession a lot. 15-20 मिनट के आगे कोई नेता आके बोलता नहीं है ऐसे inaugural ceremony में, अपना foundation ceremony में. So he said that please try to appeal to your friends. You recollect what happened in 13, and he just recollected, or he just took me there in that era when that form 704, the government, I was chairman of regional council, government has put up around 700 cases to us, Maharashtra government, where our members had certified form 704 without understanding anything. Without understanding anything. It was completely wrong certifications. Right? Now he just correlated that and he said, please appeal to your members that in GST it will be a pointed report, in audit GST report. I think I have mentioned in the Vasai program earlier also. It is going to be a pointed audit report, just like it in fact more pointed than 704 of VAT. And if we really don't know such things, and if we start reporting on the matters without understanding the ultimate repercussions of it, mind you, this audit will go from us. The entire program on 1st July, the council took a conscious decision to organize it, because if you recollect in hindsight now, the entire country, the message has gone. Modi spoke about GST and chartered accountants. So it is GST means chartered accountants, right? So society is also perceiving that chartered accountants is the only profession who is going to deliver us as far as GST is concerned. And if we are going to deliver in terms of GST, definitely many more doors are going to be open. It is all efforts of council because of which the audit has been introduced in GST. In service tax, audit was not there, if you recollect. In excise, there was no audit. Only in VAT, there was an audit. So it is an effort of the council where the GST audit has been introduced. And the council has been taking an efforts to make members aware about the GST. The fact and the problem right now is, I'm again not saying this is a good elite crowd that they have come to understand about the returns. We have to take certain decisions as far as GST is concerned. This is my personal opinion, now I am speaking. There can be different kinds of, professional opportunities in GST. Now we have to decide, मैं ये भी करूँगा, वो भी करूँगा, वो भी करूँगा, वो भी करूँगा. It is not going to happen in future. Let us decide, let us restrict ourselves in GST also, certain things on which I will concentrate. Some people can be very good in the procedural aspect. Some people can be very good in advisory aspects. And as they say that it's a business reform, it is not only tax reform, but it's a business reform. In fact, one of my friend has got an assignment from a very big company regarding their marketing budget and the impact of GST on the marketing budget. It's different kind of assignment altogether. So let us think that what we can specialize in GST also and understand the GST to its all niceties. Because tomorrow nobody should comment on us that your members are certifying without understanding. Mind you, society is going to look at us that returns अगर किसी ने गलत भरा है तो वो CA ने ही एडवाइस किया रहेगा, because we are projecting to the society that GST means chartered accountant, right? हम इसमें एक्सपर्ट है, तो अगर किसी ने रिटर्न गलत भरा रहेगा तो उसके CA को भी पूछा जाएगा पहले. And from that point of view, we must understand in ICTs what we are doing, get a proper engagement letter from the client that these are the things which you are doing, what am I supposed to do in this. I'm not going to talk anything about technicalities. And understand it in complete manner so that when we are advising, when we are doing certain things, right, we will also be clear about it. To my mind, I think I have mentioned this also in the earlier seminar, to my mind, the GST is not that complicated. The procedures are complicated because of the destination-based consumption tax. The procedures are complicated because they want to give the auto credits and they want to develop and build up the auto system. Mind you, this auto system which is going to get built up after a couple of years, our work as far as the compliance, to my mind, if these things go properly, is definitely going to come down as regards the qualitative aspects are concerned. Right? If this all starts working properly, GSTR 1 से 2A develop होना, 2A से वापस उसको 2 में reconstruct करना, all these things and reconciliations coming forward to you. You are also developing certain GSP, ASPs are giving the software whereby the reconciliations you get ready-made. So all these things अगर ये auto होते जाएगा, which is supposed to be there, which is the expectation or which is what is aimed at, then our compliance work will be somewhat reduced. So think about 2-3 years down the line, aim at that, start and develop and concentrating on technical aspects also, right? Because it's a returns aspect which always pressurizes us. It's a deadline aspect which always pressurizes us, right? And these things happen because of the deadline aspects. So let us actually understand the law, execute it for the benefit of the country and the client, not only client, so that, and advise in real sense, so that we also will have a lesser pressure, and the pressure of compliance, let it be primarily on our client. I know that it is very easy to say, but we have to come out of that mindset and let the compliance pressure mainly and primarily be on the client, and let's be in the advisory mode more, which the society is expecting us, and understand the GST from that perspective. That is my appeal on this Sunday morning, and wish you all the happy learning. I'm pretty sure that this kind of faculties you are going to have a very good sessions as far as the understanding of returns is concerned. Thank you very much. All your suggestions are welcome. Not only in Board of Studies, he mentioned about Board of Studies, but in Indirect Tax Committee also, which I'm also member. We can take it forward to the government. We are suggesting many things to the government. In fact, yesterday only our suggestions have gone to GST Council regarding the smooth implementation. That if you have any suggestions, you please forward. Don't think that my suggestion they will not accept, then what is the use? All suggestions cannot be accepted or forwarded, right? But if you forward it, then there will be some interaction, there will be some understanding about what fraternity wishes or fraternity wants in detail. So thank you very much. Wish you all the best in this GST era, and let's have really stress-free GST. Thank you.
Thank you, Mangesh ji. Friends, now the speaker is going to speak in front of you. He actually don't require any introduction. Just one word I will say, he's a good speaker. That's the best introduction. But still, there are two more people who are going to introduce him. One is CA Jignesh Shah, he is going to give the formal introduction. This second person is he himself, you will observe.
Good morning, friends, and thank you very much, Vasai branch stream, for giving me opportunity for the introduction of the speakers. CA Abhijeet Kelkar ji, he is a senior partner of Mrs. Abhijeet Kelkar and Company. His academic achievement is become LLB. He is a FCA diploma in ICAI this system auditor, certified internal IS auditor. His journey with a chartered accountant, presently he is a regional council member, chairman of CPE committee, managing committee member of Nagpur branch, chairman of the Nagpur branch. Nagpur branch received all the best in his chairmanship, has received all the India Best Branch Award and the WIRC Best Branch Award. Professional contribution, visiting faculty to the various management college and institution, delivered lecture at the various forums at seminar conference on varied topics of professional and general interest, delivered more than 125 lectures. I think so this is an achievement. Regular writer for the various publication and newspaper, also published a book on the GDP titled GDP Decoded. And the most important part I can say, a stress reliever. He is more involved into the particularly a social cause where we can reduce our stress level. So he is I think that is the main part. He is a member of the, I think the vice president, past president of the Rotary Club of Nagpur, vice president of the Sahakar Bharati Nagpur, Maharashtra again, director of the Deen Dayal Cooperative Credit Society, and many more trusts. I can, the list is very long. So I also from my being all professional colleagues are over here, I request all to one best part is to relieve your stress through a social cause. Other part already the many sirs and this chairman sir and this SAM sir has already spoken on this. So with this brief introduction, I request Abhijeet sir to take the charge of the session. Thank you.
Namaskar. Chairman of Vasai branch, CA Nitesh Kothari. Central Council member, respected Vice Chairman Board of Studies, CA Mangesh Kindre. Other managing committee members, CA Xavier Rajan, CA Jignesh Shah, CA Ankit Rathi, CA Anand Vasai in audience, seniors in the profession, and my dear professional colleagues and friends. At the outset, let me wish everyone a very happy Friendship Day. And I compliment the chairman of Vasai branch for keeping good programs, good workshop, good seminars for the benefit of members so that they can abreast themselves with the latest changes, knowledge of the various act. And I wish him the legacy which he is establishing for Vasai branch will be continued in coming future as well. I also recognize the presence of a very good friend of mine, CA Vimal Agarwal, in the audience. And I again thanks the Vasai branch for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge about the GST returns. Like any other good movie, the sequel of that movie is known as returns. Like Superman return, Batman return, Bahubali returns, and then we have the GST return. And believe me friend, it is going to be interesting to all of us, because sequel has to be interesting so as to be a hit amongst all. Having said so, I must say that so far as the practitioners are concerned, or the practitioners who are practicing in indirect taxes is concerned, we do have three kind of practices, or in GST we will be having three type of practices. One is consultancy, wherein a dealer or an SSE will be coming to you asking for some issues, asking for queries, and you will be then giving him a consultancy. And the fact remains that we are doing this job without any fees from last so many years. जो भी हमारे क्लाइंट्स है, डीलर है, वो आते हैं, कंसल्टेंसी लेते हैं, लेकिन हम पैसे हमको नहीं देते. और वैसे भी जीएसटी में जीएसटी इम्पैक्ट एनालिसिस वगैरह वॉट एवर हैपनिंग is being taken over by either big 4 or big 40s or let's say big 400s. है ना. बाकी जो बचा हुआ कंसल्टेंसी है, वी आर डूइंग विदाउट एनी चार्जेस. एनीवे, कंसल्टेंसी इज वन ऑफ द पार्ट वी कैन डू इन इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस प्रैक्टिस. अनदर वन इज लिटिगेशन apart from consultancy, and I believe GST is a new baby. Even the department as well as practitioner both are still not aware about the act fully. Let the dealers leave alone, and litigation will start maybe say 2 years later. पहले सबको समझ तो जाए क्या करना है, then we'll start litigation also. I always say, or I have observed the basic difference between the advocates and chartered accountants. जब भी CA प्रैक्टिशनर के पास डीलर कोई नोटिस लेके आता है, सो आवर फर्स्ट रिएक्शन आफ्टर सीइंग दैट नोटिस इज किसने उस पर साइन किया हुआ है नीचे में. अच्छा ये जोशी है क्या, ये तो अपना ही आदमी है. अच्छा ये पांडे है क्या, अरे ये तो मेरा खास दोस्त है. ये सब सल्टा डालेगा. एंड इफ द सेम नोटिस इज बीइंग गिवन टू एडवोकेट, द फर्स्ट थिंग ही विल डू, ही विल चैलेंज द नोटिस इटसेल्फ एज इट इज वॉइड एब इनिशियो. 6 महीने वैसे निकल जाएंगे. ही विल चार्ज फीस फॉर दैट ऑल्सो. और उसके बाद अगर इट इज नॉट वॉइड एब इनिशियो तो फिर बाद में बात का चलो. सो दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन प्रैक्टिस बाय द चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स एंड एडवोकेट्स. सो द फर्स्ट टाइप ऑफ प्रैक्टिस इज, एज आई सेड, इज कंसल्टेंसी. अनदर वन इज लिटिगेशन which will take 2 years, and the third one is compliance. And believe me, and everybody is aware that compliance is the biggest practice all of us are doing from the day we have started our practice. We are complying so many things on behalf of our dealers. Due dates, stress की बात सब जन कर रहे थे, तो stress उससे ही आता है, and there is no escape to this. and compliance तो आपको करना होगा. and everybody will appreciate that between the tax collector, that is the government, and the taxpayer, we are the only link, we are the only bridge who are amenable so that government will get the tax due to it, due to be received by the government. If we are not there, believe me friends, government को जो tax मिलता है वो नहीं मिलेगा. I also on the lighter note will request Central Council member to put up a request to the GST Council that 0.001% of the tax collected should be transferred to chartered accountant also. It's on the lighter note. Anyway, and as rightly pointed out by our Mangesh sir, that GST means chartered accountant, that is for sure. Because of our acumen, because of our expertise, because of our troubleshooting attitude, believe me that we will be the only practitioners who will be doing GST in coming days. Litigation might be taken over by other practitioners, but so far as consultation and compliance practice is concerned, it is we chartered accountants who is doing the GST practice for sure. Having said so, let us come to the returns, the most important compliance part of the GST. GST जब आएगा ऐसा पता चलेगा, मे बी अप टू डिसम्बर nobody was as such concerned, वैसे समय भी नहीं था हमारे पास में. और जब पता चल गया कि ये GST is coming for sure, then everybody started attending workshop, lectures, seminar, this and that. और now we are called as GST experts by the society. ऑफिस में मेरे भी कोई आता है, मैं कुछ काम करो तो बोलता बहुत प्रेशर होगा ना GST का. बोलता हाँ बहुत प्रेशर है. और मुझे ही मालूम है प्रेशर तो है नहीं, क्योंकि मुझे अब तक मालूम भी नहीं है करना क्या क्या है. प्रेशर किस चीज का. डीलर इज हैप्पी बिकॉज ही इज ऑफ द ओपिनियन दैट CA को सब मालूम है. CA is happy because he is of the opinion that dealer को कुछ भी नहीं मालूम. But all said and done, ये कभी ना कभी end तो हो जाएगा, है ना. Why we are called as practicing chartered accountants? Because we keep on practicing. We learn at the cost of our clients, then we commit some another mistake. We again learn, then we relearn, and we keep on learning. That's why we are called as practicing chartered accountants. And same thing will happen with GST for sure. GST के रिटर्न्स अभी आ रहे हैं, हम रिटर्न्स फाइल करना शुरू करेंगे. विल कमिट सम मिस्टेक, फाइन, लेकिन धीरे धीरे हम सीख जाएंगे. देयर इज नो बिग डील इन रिटर्न. ऐसा क्या, ऐसा कोई रॉकेट साइंस थोड़ी है. इफ यू नो द एक्ट, इफ यू नो द प्रोविजंस, इफ यू नो द बिजनेस ऑफ योर client, then it is easy to file the return, subject to extracting the data required for filing the return, which is more important. And today in another 45 minutes I'll be discussing with you various provisions of return, then how GSTR 1 to 3 will look like, and what is expected to be done by all of us. So here we go. Returns under GST. Before we proceed, this is I suppose my 22nd lecture on GST return, and when I started preparing this presentation, I was wondering which picture I should put on the slide, and I thought that this is the most appropriate picture, है ना? J1 J2 जैसा दिख रहा है ये, ऐसा mix match हो रहा है कुछ तो भी. And same thing will happen in GST as well. So far as returns are concerned in GST Act chapter 9, which talks about returns, and section 37 to section 48, section 37 to 48 of GST Act talks about returns. Today in the given time I will be talking only about section 37, 38 and 39. Rest of the speakers who are coming after, they will be talking about trans and as well as MIS section 40 to 43 matching and reversal. So I will be basically taking you through the journey of section 37, 38 and 39. And before we proceed, let us know the various important features of returns. And returns is a tool for compliance verification program for tax administration. So through returns they can only verify whether you have complied with the act or not. Then it provides necessary input for the policy decision making. Believe me friends, with the state code in your GST, with the HSN code, I believe in coming years, since entire India will be filing return on a single server, the government will be able with a push of a button to decide, to determine किस state में कौन से commodity का कितना turnover हुआ है, with a click of a button. Maharashtra 27 iron and ore for example HSN दबाया, इसका कितना आ रहा, तो they will be coming to know इसका कितना purchase हुआ है, कितना sale हुआ, and so on so forth. So much of information can be gathered, will be displayed with a click of a button because of this kind of return. So it will be playing a very major role. इसके पहले हर state का अलग act था, हर state के अलग returns है, so it was not as such possible to make a decision on behalf of some data. It will be possible right now in coming days because of the consolidation of returns pan-India basis, and it will be a necessary input for policy decision making. It also works as an audit and anti-evasion program for tax administration, because after verifying the returns one can understand whether there is a evasion or not, and it is required for finalization of the tax liability. So returns plays a very important role when it comes to any taxation system. And who should file the return? You are all aware, every registered person is required to file the return. Every registered person. We'll talk about it in detail in coming slides. And UN agencies which is requiring refund is also required to file the return. If you are required to deduct TDS under section 51, you are required to file the return, and if you have been allotted UID, you are required to file the return. So these are those who are compulsory required to file the return. And these are the type of returns: GSTR 1, 2, 2A, 3, 3A, 4, 4A, 5, there is no 5, 4A, 5, 5A, 6, 6A, 7, 7A, 8, first return, final return, GSTR 9, 9A, 9B, GSTR 11. And friends, this is just a trailer. Abhi picture baki hai. There are so many forms, but all forms are online for sure. And these are the some of the forms, some of the returns which we'll be talking about. And today I'll be taking only GSTR 1, 2 and 3. So let us talk about them. Section 37, furnishing details of outward supply. In GST there is nothing like sale, there is nothing like retail, there is nothing like manufacturer, there is nothing like service. Everything is a supply. And section 37 talks about furnishing details of outward supply. Now let us see what section 37 says. It says every registered person other than who? Other than NRI, ISD, composition dealer, that is section 10, section 51 TDS and TCS 52. So other than these 5, every registered dealer shall furnish electronically in such a format, that is GSTR 1, shall furnish in such a format in GSTR 1 electronically. What he is expected to furnish? Details of outward supplies of goods or services or both. During a tax period, जो भी आपने goods and services का supply किया है, everything he is required to be furnished electronically effected during the tax period on or before 10th of the month, 10th day of the month succeeding the tax period. So for example, if I am a seller, you all are purchaser, I have sold something to you in the month of July. Let us forget the dates for July and August has been relaxed. Let us take it for example that they are the same. So if anything, if I am a seller, you all are purchaser, I have sold some goods during the month of July to you, I will be filing a return GSTR 1, that is a return of outward supplies on or before 10th of the August. Clear? And this section says further that such details shall be communicated to the recipient of the said supplies within such time and in such a manner as may be prescribed. So who are the recipients? You are the recipients. You are the purchaser, who are the recipient. Once I file GSTR 1 on or before 10th day of the succeeding month, such detail will be given to, provided to the purchaser, the recipient, in such a manner, in such a form, and that form is GSTR 2A. So once I file GSTR 1 on or before 10th day of the next month, 10 तारीख के बाद वो डिटेल्स आपके लॉगिन में से पॉप अप हो जाएंगे in the form of GSTR 2A. Subsection 1, section 37, provided. जब भी provided आता है तो थोड़ा टेंशन आ जाता है. Provided क्या है? Provided that the registered person shall not be allowed to furnish the details of outward supplies on the period between 11th to 15th day of the next month. Which means जुलाई का जो भी आउटवर्ड सप्लाई हुआ है उसका डिटेल्स GSTR 1 में 10th तक मुझे अपलोड करना है, बट आई विल नॉट बी अलाउड टू अपलोड दैट डिटेल्स बिटवीन 11 to 15. 10 तक करो या मत करो. इन माय पर्सनल ओपिनियन आई विल बी अलाउड subject to payment of late fees. Number 2, the effect of that credit will be available to the purchaser in the next month, not for the same month, in my opinion. So he will not be allowed to furnish the details of outward supply during 11 to 15, and provided that again the commissioner, if he is of the opinion for any reasonable reason, he may extend the date of filing this GSTR 1. Then this section also says, subsection 2 says, every registered person who has been communicated details under subsection 3 and 4 of section 38. Now what is section 37 is filing the details of outward supply. Section 30 is filing details of inward supply. We will see it later on. But any return file under section 38, 3 and 4, that is GSTR 2, that purchasers will be filing. So any details furnished under GSTR 2 will be communicated to me, who is a seller, for example, and who has been communicated such detail shall, please pay attention, shall either accept or reject the details so communicated on or before 17th day, but not before 15th day. Which means, July ka sale, I have filed GSTR 1 up to 10th. The details are communicated to you in GSTR 2A. You will be filing GSTR 2 on or before 15. That details will be communicated to me, the seller, when after 15, and I have to either accept or reject. They will be coming to me in the form of GSTR 1A. I will be filing GSTR 1, the details will be communicated to the purchaser, GSTR 2A. You will be filing GSTR 2, the details will be communicated to seller in GSTR 1A. And what is expected from me? I have to accept or reject the details so communicated. When? Between 16 and 17, only 2 days. तो इसके बाद 16-17 को कोई शादी नहीं होगी, कोई सत्यनारायण की पूजा नहीं होगी, कोई हनीमून नहीं होगा, कोई पिकनिक नहीं होगी, कुछ नहीं हो सकता. 16-17 को बस आपको एक्सेप्ट रिजेक्ट ऐसे ही करना पड़ेगा. Can you believe if you are having, say for example, 300 dealers, how much time is required to just do the exercise of accept and reject? In my opinion, there is no question of accepting also, because if you have not done anything, it will be deemed to be accepted. It will be deemed to be accepted. But it is not the case. For example, किसी ने बोला कि भाई Mr. Kelkar has sold him goods worth of rupees 80 lakhs. और उसने GSTR2 फाइल किया, मुझे यहाँ पे उसको रिजेक्ट करना होगा if I have not sold, because if I have not rejected what this section says and the detail furnished by him under subsection 1, that is GSTR1, shall stand amended accordingly. यानी GSTR1A when it pops up, I have to see, then I have to accept or reject. If I am of the opinion that everything is okay, I did not to do anything, it will be okay. If I have the opinion that something has to be rejected, I must reject it, because if I have not done so, the details, the GSTR1A details will be stand amended into GSTR1 automatically. तो किसी ने बोल दिया कि भाई आई हैव सोल्ड हिम फॉर से 80 lakhs rupees और मैंने उसको इग्नोर कर दिया, व्हाट विल हैपन, दैट विल बी एडेड इनटू माय GSTR1 and then I have to pay accordingly also, because then thereafter there is no chance of correction. So one must be concerned कि what details are popping up in GSTR1A, and the best thing we can do is क्या हमारा total receivable है और क्या दिख रहा है. If the total is telling, then it is fine. If it is not, then you must find out which other things are popping up. And I also believe that this gives an opportunity to the practitioner as well, because we will be telling clients that these are the details that are not in your books but still appearing. So there has to be a MIS generated out of it, and we have to charge for it also. Don't do it for free. Apart from returns, such mismatches you have to communicate to your dealer and let him tell you that why this difference has been there. So we are talking about section 37, details of outward supply. This is subsection 2. Then 3 says, and any registered person to whom details have been communicated under section 40 to 43, that will be taken in the later sessions. 40 to 43 is a mismatch. So all details of the sales, that is outward supply, all details of the inward supply will be match against each other, and if there is a mismatch, that will be communicated to the supplier as well as the purchaser. In MIS1 and MIS2, we will be discussing them in the later session, but that will be communicated to you. And this subsection 3 says, any such communication being given to you, you are expected to rectify it. If you are of the opinion that there is a need of rectification, you are expected to rectify it in the month in which you have received that communication. तो आपको ये भी ध्यान रखना है कि MIS1-2 क्या आपको आया हुआ है, और जिस महीने में आया है उसी महीने में आपको उसका रेक्टिफिकेशन करना है, प्रोवाइडेड दैट दिस रेक्टिफिकेशन इज नॉट अलाउड और शुड बी डन on or before filing of the return for the month of September or filing of the annual return, whichever is earlier. Which means such kind, not only 40 to 43 mismatch, any other mistake, if you are of the opinion this has to be rectified, you are allowed to do it, but when on or before filing return for the month of September or filing annual return, whichever is earlier. Which means if you are very smart, if you are very organized, 17-18 का आपका सब काम हो गया, ऑडिट हो गया, please don't file the annual return in the month of April or May itself. क्योंकि once you file annual return, your chance of rectification is gone. So even though the books are finalized, even though they are clear, you are sure that everything is okay, please wait. Please wait, in my opinion, up to filing the return for the month of September, because annual return will be filed in the month of December. Up to September you can wait, and if there is no mismatch notification, if there is no error identified, then you can always file the annual return as well as return for the month of September. Till that time one should wait to see that whether any mismatch is being communicated to him or not. So this we are seeing section 37, details of outward supply. So to make it in a single chart, GSTR1, for any error or omission communicated under section 42 or 43, or for any outward supply. So even though there is no outward supply, one is required to file GSTR1, because there can be a communication under section 40 to 43. Otherwise, even there is a nil you are required to file GSTR 1. So any communication of 40 to 43 or outward supply, what one is expected, he is required to file GSTR 1. Once he filed GSTR 1, when? On or before 10th day of the succeeding month. Once GSTR 1 file, the details will be communicated between 11 to 15 to all the purchaser. In which format? These are the three forms in GSTR 2A for normal. Part A of the GSTR 2A. आपको दिखेगा part A में. If you are a composition, it will appear in part 4A of for GSTR 4. If you are ISD, it will appear in part 6A of part A. If you are filing returns in ISD. So details filed under GSTR 1 will be communicated to the recipient in this fashion. Apart from this, whatever return you have filed, I will be getting GSTR 1A, for which I am given 2 days, 16 or 17. Either I have to accept or I have to reject. Once this is done, the details will be auto amended in GSTR 3. And with this, the filing details of the outward supply are concluded in GSTR 1, section 37. Any question? Yes. Correct. इतने जल्दी नहीं आएगा, पर आएगा. As you are rightly pointed out, if you are, see, compliance is on the basis of how you have filed your return, how you have replied to the queries and so on so forth. So that is for sure, उसका compliance rating पे कुछ ना कुछ percentage में effect आएगा, no doubt about it. So we'll proceed. Section 37, we have just seen details of outward supply. We proceed. Section 31, details of inward supply. Section 37, details of outward supply. Section 38, details of inward supply. And what this section says, please pay attention. Every registered person other than whom? Other than NRI, ISD, section 10, that is composition, 51 TDS, 52 TCS. Other than them, every other person is required to do what? Shall verify, please pay attention, shall verify, validate, modify or delete. Shall verify, validate, modify or delete. If required, the details relating to the outward supply is communicated to whom? As per the return file under subsection 1 of section 37, that is GSTR 1. So any details filed under section GSTR 1, as a supplier I have filed GSTR 1, that will be communicated to you in GSTR 2A. And what is expected from you? You shall verify, validate, modify or delete. If you look at the section 37, GSTR 1A, which is coming to me, I have given only two options, accept or reject, nothing else. No question of modification, no question of alteration, only accept or reject. So as a seller, I will be either accepting or rejecting the details communicated to me in 1A. However, the purchaser, that is you, the details communicated to you in GSTR 2A, what is the authority given to you? You shall verify, क्या क्या दिया है, validate, if it is okay, if you are of the opinion it needs to be modified, you can modify or you can delete the details so communicated to you under subsection 1 of section 37 to prepare the details of inward supplies. Which means from those whom you have purchased, if all of them have filed their GSTR 1 correctly, you are not required to as such put in data into GSTR 2, because everything will be popping up in GSTR 2A in your login. And the section goes, and may include therein the details of inward supplies and credit and debit notes received by him in respect of the supplies that have not been declared by the supplier under subsection 1 of section 37. Which means, for example, आपके टोटल परचेस से GST रिसीवेबल टू इज फॉर यू इज से फॉर एग्जांपल 50,000, and GSTR 2A में जो pop-up हुआ है, that is say 40,000. So there are purchases on which GST of 10,000 is receivable, and that is not appearing in GSTR 2A. Then what you will do? You are allowed to put such details also into your GSTR 2. तो जो purchases है, जो purchases दिख नहीं रहे हैं, अगर GSTR 2A में if they are not appearing, you can still put these details into GSTR 2, and such the credit of such purchases will be provisionally allowed for 60 days. आप GSTR 2A में यानी GSTR 2 जब फाइल करेंगे, you can put details of those which are not appearing in 2A, and the credit for such purchases will be provisionally available to you for 60 days. Apart from this, हमें एक और काम करना है. We have to provide this information to dealer also. कि भाई these are the purchases you have shown, these are the purchases that are appearing, this is the difference. Please have a follow up कि why this is not appearing. उसको फोन करना होगा, पीछे लगना होगा कि भाई file the return. What is the reason this is not matching? Number one, he has not filed the return. Number two, GST not matching. Somebody else GST has been given, or invoice number not matching, invoice value is not matching, and so on, so forth. So there are reasons because of which the details are not appearing in 2A. You can put such detail. Provisional credit is available for 60 days. If within 60 days the corresponding GSTR 1 is not filed, then the provisional credit given will be reversed, and then you have to pay the tax as well as interest on that from the date for the month you have taken that credit. So again, this is another opportunity to all of us. Like outward supply, for inward supplies, you have to give the details, where the details as per the accounts, or the credit as per the accounts, or credit as per the return or GSTR 2A is not matching, and the management is expected to follow up. Your question, please. Yes. किसको? नहीं होगा. ऐसा है, GSTR 1A I have filed, 2A it is appearing to you, 2A you have modified, it will be auto amended into your GSTR 2, and this GSTR 2 I will be getting 1A. That is what I am saying. Once it is I am getting at 1A, either I can accept or reject. If I have accepted, because say for example I have not given that information, even if I have not given that information and that is appearing in 1A, I can always accept and that will be matched. But that will not always be a case. There are other situations also, like I have not filed the return at all, and so on so forth. So not only this, they will be getting in GSTR 1A for sure, but there are other instances as well. That is why 60 days. Another example could be I am not agreeing to what he is saying. There might be a difference of value. Oh, he will reject. He will reject. Then it will stay as it is. Credit is available to the purchaser for 60 days. हाँ, किसको? Purchaser को 60 days के लिए देखेगा. That is what I am saying. 60 days के लिए देखेगा. And once this return filing process for particular month is completed, MIS 1 and 2 will be given to both of them, both the parties, that he is claiming but you are not showing. What is the reason? And then you have to comply. Fine? And the process will go on. Yes, sir. Yes, purchasing party has shown, but supplier has not shown or rejected. There is no provision. No, down the line, how will come? See, if there is a there can be supply or there cannot be any supply. He cannot be of a different opinion afterwards that let him avail the credit, because once he avail the credit, he has to pay from his pocket. So there has to be a supply. He agreed. Okay. Yes, yes. Yes. That you will learn in next sessions, MIS 1 and 2. That how did this mismatch will be rectified, how it should be responded. So we are seeing section 38 filing. Yes. A particular bill is being mismatched by both the parties. Now you will tell me what will happen next. He will realize maybe a month later, I have missed this. He may realize, and if he realize, there is a column in GSTR 2 which I will show you later, wherein you can put the amendment. Yes, yes. There is no revised return in GST, but you can always amend, you can always rectify the mistake done in the previous return. There is no problem in that. So GSTR 1, that is section 37, details of outward supply. GSTR 2, section 38, details of inward supply, and subsection 1 says that whatever information is given to the purchaser will appear in GSTR 2A. He shall verify, validate, modify or delete. Apart from this, he can also put in the information which is not being given to him under 2A. This information he can take into while preparing his GSTR 2. Then subsection 2 says every registered person. So GSTR 2 is all about credits. So 1 is from the purchases. Subsection 2 says every registered person other than again ISD, NRI, composition, TDS and TCS shall furnish electronically the details of inward supplies of taxable goods and services or both, including the supplies of goods or services on which he has paid tax in reverse charge. So apart from purchases, whatever reverse charge you have paid on the purchases or availing services from unregistered person, you will be paying reverse charge on that, and that information you will be giving in GSTR 2, because you will be taking credit of whatever reverse charge you have paid. And please note, this information has to be given invoice wise. There is an opinion even single invoice for the total entire month can be prepared for reverse charge, but please ensure, please understand that the details are to be given rate wise and not in toto. So even if you are preparing a single invoice, the details are required to be given rate wise. So it is better to prepare invoice for each particular transaction. And God knows, maybe in future they will be asking the details as per HSN code wise. Then it will be much more difficult. Yes, let me complete this. So he is required to furnish online the details of inward supplies that we have seen in last section, plus details of the reverse charge, and plus details of tax, details of as per the tax has the IGST has been paid as per this IGST Act, and credit and debit notes received in respect of such supplies during the tax period after the 10th day, but on or before 15th day of the month succeeding the tax period, in such a form and in such a manner as may be prescribed. That is GSTR 2. So GSTR 1, details of outward supply. GSTR 2, details of inward supplies, which also includes details of reverse charge, details of TDS, TCS, plus details of effects of any debits or credit notes having impact on your input credits. And this all details will be submitted on or before 15th day of the succeeding month's return in such a format, that is GSTR 2. Yes, your question please.
Hello. Since we mentioned about this reverse charge credit, just want to know, there is one concept of self-generated invoices.
Yes.
Right? So those self-generated invoices would be in the system or outside the system?
What do you mean by in the system?
Means like I have a
like whether you need to print it out or not, that is the question.
Yeah, yeah.
In my opinion, you has to make a print of every such.
Will it be through the because see, if I enter that in Tally, then there will be mismatch, na? That is what I'm asking. How can I generate an invoice on myself? It should be outside the system, whatever accounting software I'm using.
That It's fine. If Tally is not able to generate an invoice, you can always have an Excel format which can you can
That is what
always
I'm
take up
asking.
it.
That is what
Yes,
I'm
there is no question.
It is just for the record purpose,
Yes,
right?
it is. See, maybe later on you have been assessed by the department
Yeah.
and they are asking you that
What is the
what
basis?
invoices you have generated. What you
Yes.
will take? Your system?
Yes.
Your laptop? No, you will take the printouts, na, for
Right.
sure.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Only 2 days. For payment, what you are talking about? 28th. We'll come to that when we'll come to GSTR 3. Exact process. Yes.
Sir,
We'll come to that when we'll see the actual GSTR. We are just looking the provisions of the section. Then we'll be looking at the GSTR 1, 2, 3 in detail for sure. Don't worry about it. Yes.
so for RCM we need rate wise, like we have to enter GSTR to rate wise.
Rate wise,
So
yes.
it's practically very difficult to identify all the rates, na?
That's
For-
why we are being paid off. If the things are simple, we'll be not having practice.
So we can charge a blanket rate like 18% on all my inputs, or
How you
Like-
can do that? It is not as per ACNA. You have to charge reverse charge as per the rate applicable to that particular commodity. How you can pay 18%
that means
on
I have to
everything?
identify the
And
HSN.
reverse charge also amenable for blocking your working capital as well,
Yeah.
because you are taking the credit as such in the next month when you are filing the return. So for a particular month you will be then blocking your working capital. You all must be aware now, most of the people have stopped taking services from unregistered person because they don't want to do this exercise of creating invoice on all the unregistered purchases. Number 2, blocking their working capital as well. So now they are asking, get yourself registered, only then you will be giving services to us, otherwise not. But you have to generate the invoice, you have to pay as per the rate applicable to that particular
So
commodity.
that means HSN is compulsory for that. I mean, I have to search the HSN.
At present, HNS is not compulsory, but it will be compulsory in coming days for sure. Even people, what they are doing, they are asking those who are providing services or providing goods to even mention the HSN on the bill itself. Why I am as a receiver should bother about the HSN of particular person? He will find out, he will mention it on his bill. I will take it as it is, isn't it? एक आदमी जिसके लिए 1000 एटम इनपुट है, जो मान लीजिए सब अनरजिस्टर्ड है, वो सबके HSN देखते बैठेगा क्या? So it is always better to ask your supplier to find out the HSN and mention it on your invoice so that it is readily available to the receiver. Yes. At present it is not compulsory. It is going to be compulsory. That is what I am telling. At present it is not compulsory.
Excuse me, I have a
But
question.
What is your query then?
Just basic example, like
Just a minute. Let him complete.
say sale of 1 month is recorded by
Just a minute. Please hold on. Please hold on. Yes. Yes. Yes, correct. No, at present it is not required, but it is my humble suggestion, my dear friend, please start following this practice to ask your supplier to find out his HSN and mention it on the invoice, though it is not necessary, because you never know when the government deems fit to say that henceforward HSN will be mentioned, and then starting this practice will be then difficult. So it is better to start it right now. This is just a practical tip. Yes, yes, please.
see sale of a particular month is booked by the other parties in another month.
Yes, I was expecting this question. So for example, please sit down. So for example, I have sold goods to you as on 30th of July. The goods are been in transit and you are getting those goods, say for example on 25th of August. What will happen? Nothing will happen. For a seller like me, I will file GSTR 1 and I will be paying taxes. For a purchaser like you, you have not received the goods, you have not received the invoice also, you are not eligible for input credit. You will wait, you will get them in the month of August. For the month of August, you will file the return and you will claim the credit. Both of them will be matched and nothing will happen. The problem remain if the transit is of more period, longer duration. But nothing happens. As I said, you can rectify up to September or filing of the annual return, whichever is earlier. And so far as India is concerned, maybe goods are being shipped from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. It will not take more than 4 months or 5 months. And any month you can always book the purchase, the seller will book the sale, and it will be matched. Only if it is not matching, you will be getting a mismatch notice, for which you will comply. Maybe the speaker will be telling you how you will comply. You will say that I have not received the goods, hence I have not booked the purchases. That is all. Yes. Up to September you are allowed to make the correction. That is accounting. That is accounting. See, you are getting purchase in the next financial year. Say, for example, I have sold in the month of February. You are getting in the month of May. He will say it is a sale in February. That is 17, 18. I will say it is purchase when I am getting it. There is no issue. It will match up. It will match up because matching is based on 5 things: GST number, invoice date, value, and tax amount. That is all. If they are matching, it will be match, irrespective of financial year. But the question is, if it is after September, and if it belongs to before September, if they have that you have missed, then you are not supposed to make the correction. If you are received after September, doesn't matter, no issue at all. Yes. And receipt of goods, both. If you have not received the goods, but he is your friend and he has sent you the invoice, you cannot take the credit. You must receive the goods as well. Yes. Pardon? I am not getting what you are saying. Short receipt of the goods. So what will you do? You will issue debit or credit note. Say for example, you have received goods short. You will credit to the extent you have received the goods, because though the invoice is of the full amount, say it is for 100 items, you have received only 70 items, you will take into credit, you will take into account only credit available to the extent of 70, and then you will issue debit note for the rest of the 30. He will say he has sold 100, but once he received your debit note, he will amend accordingly, and both of them will be matched. See, it is very simple to say all such things, but the practitioners are going to face difficulties for sure, so far as such things are concerned. You will claim in the month of August for the return you are filing for the month of July. Next month, same month you are claiming, but you will be claiming in the next month actually. Yes, you will claim. Yes. How? कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा सर, उनको माइक दीजिए प्लीज.
हेलो.
यस यस, इट इज वर्किंग.
रिवर्स चार्ज में अगर हम लोग आउटवर्ड सप्लाई में आपने बोला था कि रिवर्स चार्ज अंडर टैक्स और डिटेल देना है, तो
इनवर्ड सप्लाई में देना है,
आउटवर्ड सप्लाई में वही बोल रहा हूँ. तो इसका ऑटोमेटिक अपने को GSTR 2 में दिखना चाहिए ना?
नहीं,
क्योंकि हम लोग
रिवर्स चार्ज में जो पेमेंट किया है उसका डिटेल GSTR 2 में देना है. दैट इज डिटेल्स ऑफ इनवर्ड सप्लाई, आउटवर्ड सप्लाई में नहीं, इनवर्ड सप्लाई GSTR 2. और रिवर्स चार्ज का दूसरे वाले को क्रेडिट दिखने का या उसको डिटेल्स पॉप अप होने का कोई देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन. यस, ठीक है, मैं सेल बताऊंगा. यस, आपको उसको रिजेक्ट करना है. यस यस यस, दैट इज व्हाट आई हैव सेड ना. Like you have purchases for any particular month, say 50,000, GST credit receivable, say for example 5,000, and appearing is say 40,000, or it might be appearing say 1 lakh. It can be a reverse case as well, and then you have to reject, because if you don't do anything, it will be amended into GSTR 2, then you will be eligible, you will be getting credit automatically, and it amounts to taking wrong credit, and then you will be paying interest, you will be penalized also. So don't do that. You should be alert, you should be aware to find out which are those purchases that are not purchases for you for the particular month.
तो ऐसे केस में टैक्स आपको भरना पड़ रहा है.
किसको?
आपको जो
नहीं, एज ए सेलर मैं तो भरने ही वाला हूँ. एज ए सेलर मैं तो भरने वाला हूं, बट एज ए परचेसर बिकॉज ऑफ द क्रेडिट अवेलेबल यू विल बी पेइंग लेस टैक्स. Because you are availing credit, you will be paying less tax, and since you are availing wrong credit, when it is identified, you will be asked to pay tax also along with interest. Because you have availed the credit which is not legally due to you. That is why you should be alert. Yes. Okay. Yes. Correct. See, whosoever do the first, say for example, I have uploaded a debit note, and see that will come into your MIS 123. We'll not take it right now. There is a session specifically for these things. We'll take that. Yes. No, it will not appear anywhere. It will be MIS 1, 2, 3. It will be communicated, and then it will be replied also. How they will reply, the speaker will let you know. No, only new debit notes, credit notes issued by me as a supplier will I can take in GSTR 1, or as a purchaser whatever debit credit note you have issued you can take in GSTR 2. But the debit or credit notes for which you are not aware of and taken by the particular person will not be appearing into your corresponding 1A and 2A. That will be taken care separately. Otherwise it will create a bigger problem for us to identify even what debit notes, what was the reason behind that. When it is been communicated to you through mismatches, MIS 1, MIS 2 and 3, you will be replying to those reports separately. नेक्स्ट मंथ का GSTR 3 जब फाइल करेंगे तब आपको पे करना होगा. यस यस. इमीडिएटली कैसे पे करेंगे? इमीडिएटली नहीं पे करेंगे. You will find out if it is payable. See, for example, there is a GST payable. For example, there is a GST payable and GST receivable along with RCM receivable also, which has not been paid. But the difference is payable, you have to pay. If the difference is, say another example, there is no sales and there is only purchase plus there is RCM. In that case, you have to pay for RCM also. And then you have to take it forward and so on and so forth. If it is payable, you have to pay. Yes. आप करेंगे क्या? What your accounting says? No. You will do it in the month of August only. You will not do it. Very simple. Pardon? Still RCM is payable. See, RCM is a jackpot for government. They will be getting so much money because of only RCM. You must be aware that so far as cooperative banks or banks are concerned, they will be paying RCM. However, the credit of RCM is not fully available. It is either in the proportion of the services or it is 50%. If we take it in the proportion of services, interest being the bigger portion, it will not be of any use. So if you take 50%, it means 50% is going to the government without anything. So any purchases, any services from unregistered person to the bank is paying GST on it as a reverse charge, and government is getting money for doing nothing. So as I said, RCM is a jackpot for government. आप भर तो कभी भी सकते हैं, एक ही बात है. हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल आएंगे ना हम. GSTR 3 में विल गेट द डेट ऑफ पेमेंट ऑल्सो. यस यस. आप तुरंत भरना जरूरी नहीं है. But see, in my opinion, for example, for my firm, I will be paying RCM on the date of booking the expenditure, because ultimately I have to pay at the end of the month, isn't it? Being a practicing chartered accountant, कोई अपना receivable इतना बड़ा होता नहीं कि वो carry forward होगा. So ultimately I have to pay. So what I will do, if I incur expenditure, next day I will pay, so that the GST paid will be accumulated. So at the time of filing the actual return GSTR 3 के वक्त before 20 मेरा काफी सारा payment हो गया होगा, जिसका मैं credit भी ले लूंगा. Working capital block. Correct? Sir. Yes, yes, yes. Whatever you pay, say out of the good mood, आज मैं GST pay कर देता हूँ 10 लाख का, कोई बात नहीं. It will appear into your credit and you will get that credit जब आपको चाहिए तब. कोई टेंशन नहीं. मस्त रहने का, चुस्त रहने का एकदम. स्ट्रेस नहीं लेने का एकदम. सर. Yes, just a minute. 3. हाँ ऐसे कभी भी पे कर सकते हैं, बट फाइनल आपको GSTR 3 के साथ पे करना है, 2 में डालना है. हाँ, GSTR 2 सेल्फ इनवॉइस, सी परचेसेस, TDS, TCS plus RCM, ultimately of which credit is available, will be forming part of GSTR 2. GSTR 1 is a outward supply. 1 में नहीं है, we'll see GSTR. आप मुझे पता ना कहाँ दिख रहा है उसको, नहीं है उसमें, मेरे हिसाब से नहीं है, पर आपने दिखाया तो then it is a new thing for me. Yes. क्या क्या? सबको RCM से बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. रिटर्न से किसको प्रॉब्लम नहीं है? रहेगा सर, रहेगा, सब पे रहेगा. RCM कुछ भी नहीं छूटने वाला. सिर्फ अगर वो उसके ऊपर टैक्स रेट 0 है तो नहीं आएगा, इट इज आउट ऑफ द परव्यू ऑफ GST, नहीं आएगा. अदरवाइज आप कुछ भी करो, आपको RCM तो देना ही है. एंड मेरे हिसाब से वो अच्छी बात है, उससे पेमेंट करो ना तो उतना अपना लाइबिलिटी, अल्टीमेटली आपको उसका क्रेडिट मिल रहा ना. प्रॉब्लम कहाँ पे आएगा? जब आपका आउटवर्ड टैक्सेबल नहीं है,
तो RCM पेमेंट इज रिक्वायर्ड,
वहां पे प्रॉब्लम है.
सपोज आई हैव एक्सपोर्ट सेल, सर.
नहीं, इसका जवाब तो जेटली जी देंगे अभी. ट्रांसपोर्टर क्या
I have export sale.
Yes.
Suppose I have export sale and local sale. Net tax liability is refundable. Then RCM should be payable or not?
See, I think the topic has been shifted to RCM questions now. Let us restrict to it to the returns, please. And there are so many questions in RCM I can understand. We'll not discuss about RCM in much details. We'll talk about what is to be done in the returns, please.
RCM payable or not? If it is liability, should pay or not?
वो सर एक ही सवाल लेके आए, आज तो मैं इसका जवाब लेके जाऊँ. सर बोलिए, प्लीज प्लीज बोलिए सर. आपका एक यूनिट है, कुछ आपका एक्सपोर्ट है और कुछ आपका डोमेस्टिक है. RCM is payable.
Net payable is 0. Refund.
Say at the time of filing GSTR 3, if net payable 0, you need not to pay anything.
RCM no payment.
No, no, no. Huh? Let us stop discussing about RCM. See, again, if come to his export, he has been given 2 options to get the refunds. Which option he is exercising according to which what he will do, he will decide. We will not discuss about RCM anymore. We will take the queries later on. If it is related with the returns, please ask. Otherwise, we will talk later on. Correct.
Debit note or credit note, or is there any other mechanism for that? See the modification.
See, whatever details being communicated to him, he will verify it. He will validate it. And if he is of the opinion something is mismatching, he can modify it. If he is of the opinion something is not required to be taken, he can delete it.
Okay.
And it is online only.
Okay.
Whatever accounting he is expected to do, he will do it later on by issuing debit or credit note.
Okay. Okay.
So what is the question then? Obviously, if you have been given information which is wrong, you can always reject and ask him to file the revised thing. See, if he has mentioned wrong rate, or he has mentioned something wrong amount or something like that, you can always reject it and ask the person to file the correct one and then accept it. So this is GSTR 1 section 37, GSTR 2 section 38. So every person, all the credits available to him, he is expected to give these details into GSTR 2. Then provided that again commissioner, if he is of the opinion he is in good mood, he can extend the date. Once a date has been extended by any particular commissioner of any particular state, it will be assumed that dates of all the states has been extended. GSTR 2 we are talking, and the details so furnished as per section 38 will be communicated to the supplier, that is GSTR 1A that we have already seen. ठीक है. So details GSTR 2 में जो भी डाले हुए हैं will be communicated to the supplier in such a format and in such a manner that is GSTR 1A after 15. And what is he expected to do? 16 or 17. He is having only 2 days, either accept or reject. Once this is done, they will be amended into GSTR 3. Further, this section also says the details of supplies modified, deleted, or included by the recipient in the return furnished under subsection 2 and subsection 4 of 39, that is the next section we'll be seeing. So any details of supplies modified, deleted, or included by the recipient in the return furnished under section 39 shall be communicated to the supplier concerned in such a manner and in such a time as may be prescribed. So whatever details being furnished by the person who has deducted TDS, by the person who has is liable for TCS, will be again communicated to the recipient in such a format. GSTR 7 will be filed for TDS and details will be communicated in GSTR 7A. So they will be auto-populated appearing in your screen. And again the issue of mismatch, and any details or any communication of any mismatch communicated under section 42-43, it is expected from you that you will correct, you will rectify the mistake in the month in which you have received such communication. This is subsection 5 of section 38, provided that again rectification is not allowed, or it is allowed up to the date of filing return for the month of September or filing return, annual return, whichever is earlier. So both for rectification in outward supply, rectification in inward supplies, any rectification is allowed up to the date of filing रिटर्न फॉर द मंथ ऑफ सितंबर और एनुअल रिटर्न विच एवर इज अर्लियर. तो हमेशा हमको ये ध्यान देना पड़ेगा कि हमें वी शुड ऑलवेज हैव अ रूम फॉर और स्पेस फॉर मेकिंग रेक्टिफिकेशन इफ दे आर देयर इन द प्रीवियस रिटर्न. So this is the flow to conclude section 38. During the month there is any communication as per section 40 to 43, or there is a inward supply, or there is a 2A, even though there is no inward supply, but there is a 2A popping up on your screen because somebody has said he has sold to you. The goods have not been received by you. You have not received, in fact you have not purchased anything, or you have not received anything in any particular month, but still somebody has filed GSTR 1. GSTR 2A will be popping up into your login. So for any particular month 40 to 43 ka notice, or there is a inward supply, or there is a GSTR 2A popping up, because of which you have to file GSTR 1. So what GSTR, even GSTR 2A, what details will be there? Part B of GSTR 2A will be telling you ISD available as per GSTR 6 file. Part C of GSTR 2A will be telling you TDS available to you, which is as per GSTR 7 file. Parts D of the GSTR 2A will be telling you the TCS available to you, which will be as per GSTR 8 file. So all these details will be available to you, and on the basis of details, what you will do, you have 10 to 15. First you have to verify, validate, modify and delete. Once this is done, what will happen? These details along with the other details which are not appearing, you will be giving information in GSTR 2, and this GSTR 2 has to be submitted online on or before 15th of the next month. What will happen? The details so uploaded will be communicated to the supplier GSTR 1A. Again he has 2 days, 16 and 17, accept or reject. Once 17 is done, what will happen? The details of GSTR 1 outward supply, details of GSTR 2 inward supply will be auto amended into GSTR 3. खेल खत्म. इसके बाद अगर कोई रेक्टिफिकेशन है नेक्स्ट मंथ में आपको उसको कर सकते हैं. When I was in Bhopal, CA asked me what will happen. मेरा 8 लाख का सेल था और मैंने गलती से 80 लाख डाल दिया. I said nothing will happen, you have to pay. GSTR 1 में 8 लाख का सेल था, मैंने 80 लाख डाल दिया तो कुछ नहीं होगा. एक ऑप्शन है, जो परचेसर है उसने रिजेक्ट किया तो चला जाएगा, पर वो भी होशियार है, अरे 80 लाख का दिख रहा है, बोले काम का है, क्यों छोड़ू मैं उसको. तो आप once it is uploaded, it is accepted, it is amended into GSTR, then it becomes difficult. कट पेस्ट की प्रैक्टिस करना बंद करना पड़ेगा हमको, है ना। कट पेस्ट वैसे भी हमारी प्रैक्टिस कैसे हो गई है, वी कम टू नो सम प्रोविजन ओनली व्हेन इट इज रिजेक्टेड बाय द सॉफ्टवेयर। अच्छा 50% नहीं मिलता इसमें, अच्छा ये अलाउड दी है क्योंकि वो आपका जो सेल्स टैक्स या इनकम टैक्स का सॉफ्टवेयर वो अलाउ नहीं करता। अच्छा ये ऐसा है क्या, अच्छा इसमें ऐसे प्रैक्टिस हो गई है अनफॉर्चुनेटली, बट वी कैन नॉट हेल्प इट, है ना। अब इतने सारे प्रोविजन, इतने सारे एक्ट, इतना ऑनलाइन कंप्लायंसेस हो गया है कि वी आर सिस्टम बेस्ड फॉर श्योर, बट थोड़ा कट एंड पेस्ट करना, कॉपी एंड पेस्ट करना, वन विल ऑलवेज इंश्योर बिफोर अपलोडिंग GSTR 1 कि अल्टीमेटली पेएबल लायबिलिटी एज पर द ऑफलाइन मोड एंड पेएबल लायबिलिटी एज पर योर बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट वेदर इट इज टेलिंग और not. If that is you are not ensuring and you are uploading, then only God will save you. GST will become God save tax then. So this is most yes please. It will carry. Yes, it will carry. So GSTR 1, GSTR 2. So this all details will be merged into GSTR 3. So till now we have seen GSTR section 37, section 38 and the last section, section 39, furnishing details in a particular return, furnishing of returns, the section title as section 39. And what this section says, every registered person other than NRI, ISD, composition, TDS and TCS, section 51, 52 shall for every calendar month or part thereof furnish in such a form, that is GSTR 3, and in such a manner as may be prescribed. They may prescribe anything as may be prescribed, a return electronically of inward and outward supplies of goods and services and both, plus input tax credit availed, tax payable, tax paid and such other particulars as may be prescribed on or before 20th day of the month succeeding such calendar period. And friends, the details of GSTR 3, most of them will be auto populated as per GSTR 1, as per GSTR 2. They will be merged, everything will be merged, and you will be looking at the amount of tax payable only. There is a scope for making some amendment as well, but most of the part of GSTR 3 will be auto populated and it will be having information about anything. Subsection 1 of section 39 we are talking about details of monthly return, you can say. Subsection 2 says every person who is registered under section 10, that is a composition dealer, is required to file return for the quarter. In which format? GSTR 4, when on or before 18th day of the month succeeding that quarter. Quarter खत्म होने के बाद नेक्स्ट महीने के 18 तारीख तक he will file GSTR 4. This is subsection 2 of section 39. Subsection 3 says every person who is required to deduct TDS as per section 51 is required to file return in GSTR 7 and it has to be filed on or before 10th day of the month succeeding that particular month. तो जो महीने में TDS काटा है उसके अगले महीने के 10 तारीख तक आपको वो रिटर्न फाइल करना पड़ेगा. Again, if the return is not filed, the details will not be appearing, and this is the biggest problem for contractors, specifically government contractors. And everybody is aware, government department as of now are not aware about these provisions. They do not have practice of filing these returns, paying taxes on time. The TDS certificate is being issued after 1 year, 6 months and so on. And if that is not appearing in your GSTR 2A, that particular part C, because of GSTR 7 being filed, you will not be getting credit. And even if you have taken provisional credit, it is available only for 60 days. And after 60 days, you have to pay it from your pocket. So if the dealers or your clients are those who are giving services to the government, if they are contractor, please tell them to tell to their union or association to go to the department and ask them to hire a proper consultant. Again, this is an opportunity for us. Hire a proper consultant and ask them to file return regularly. And my dear friends, the penalty for not filing TDS return is also heavy. Even apart from that, penalty for not giving certificate to individual person is also heavy. Tell them that this penalty will be levied, then they will come to know what is the importance of this section. Anyway, subsection 3, every registered person who is required to do TDS under section 51 is required to file TDS return, that is GSTR 7, and the details will be communicated. So, or the TDS certificate is GSTR 7A. Likewise, we have 26 years in income tax. Subsection 3, section 39 we are talking. Subsection 4 say every taxable person who is ISD, who is registered as ISD, is required to file return. Which return? GSTR 6. When is required to file? On or before 13th day of the next month. Which also means if there is a ISD. Now what is the procedure for ISD? In short, any head office which has been registered as ISD at the end of the month, that head office will file GSTR 6. In that return they are showing, I have provided services to this, its own department, along with the TIN number of his department, and once he filed that return, that credit will be appearing into my return and I will be getting credit of the ISD. So, and the last date is 13. It means it is not after 10th you will be having all the details in 2A, because ISD is expected to file up to 30. So again, for you, if there is a ISD, you will be having only 2 days with you, that is 14 and 15. So he is required to file GSTR return in GSTR 6 as per subclause 4, and every registered taxable person who is NRI, he is required to file GSTR 5 on or before some given date. We will leave this. 6, again, if the commissioner of the opinion, he may extend the date. Next section says every registered person who is required to file details under subsection 1, 2, 3 and 5 shall pay to the government the tax due as per such return not later than the last date on which he is required to furnish such return. Which means, what is the date of payment? The date of filing of the return. So any person who, that is we are talking about section 39, filing of the monthly return. So any person who is required to file return under section 1, 2, 3, 5 shall pay to the government tax on or before filing such return. It also means if you are paying through SBI, the time is also up to 8, because after 8 SBI do not pay. Others bank are allowing, but SBI is somehow not allowing. So it is not only the end of 20th, it is up to 8 for SBI. So you have to pay before you file the return. It has been said that once you pay or as soon as you pay, it will auto populate immediately into your GSTR 3 that you have paid, and then only you will be eligible to take the credit. Subsection 7 we are talking section 39, and every registered person who is required to file return under subsection 1, that is GSTR 3, subsection 2, that is GSTR 4, is required to file the return even though there is no business. So नॉर्मल जिसको रिटर्न फाइल करना है, नॉर्मल परचेसर है, आपका बिजनेस है या नहीं है, यू हैव टू फाइल द रिटर्न प्लस कंपोजिशन वाला. तो कंपोजिशन एंड नॉर्मल जो बिजनेस है उसको GSTR 3 और GSTR 4 हर बार फाइल करना कंपल्सरी. GSTR 3 हर महीने के लिए, GSTR 4 हर क्वार्टर के लिए. फॉर अदर्स ISD, NRI, TDS, if there is no transaction, no return is required to be filed. What will happen if you have filed GSTR 1, you have filed GSTR 2, but you have not filed GSTR 3? Nothing will happen because it amounts to you have not filed the return. The process of GSTR 3 starts with GSTR 1. It is not the end in itself. GSTR 1, GSTR 2, the information is merged in GSTR 3, the tax is calculated, you will paying the tax, uploading the GSTR 3, and then the process gets completed. So if only GSTR 1 or 2 is filed, nothing will happen till GSTR 3 is filed. So, and yes, okay, the question is, what if I have not paid the tax or there are no funds available with me? That is known as short filing of the returns or filing of the returns without payment of tax. In my opinion, such return can be filed, but such return will be treated as invalid return. Next day again you have to file the return along with payment of late fee, and in my opinion the credit of that sale will be available to the purchaser in the succeeding month, not for the that. So payment of taxes as on date has become very important right now, and that is why practice of paying taxes regularly will save you from not having funds on any particular date. Because another problem is the purchases you have made, whatever credit available to you, if it is not appearing, then you will be you have to pay. Of course you can always provisionally give that information, but again it is only available for 60 days, and after 60 days it is not appearing, you have to pay it from your own pocket. So even as somebody has already mentioned, there will be a compliance rating. I am of the opinion coming 1 year down the line that everybody will first see your rating. भाई इसका रैंकिंग क्या है. Likewise we are seeing the CIBIL लोन देने से पहले, वैसे now everybody will seeing the compliance rating. भाई इसका compliance rating कम है क्या, इससे माल मत खरीदो, because either he don't pay or he don't file the return and so on so forth. So compliance rating will become very important feature in coming days. Even for bankers, bankers के पास लोन प्रपोजल है, सिविल कैसा एकदम क्लियर है साहब, टर्नओवर कितना है, 5 करोड़ का टर्नओवर है, he will see the compliance rating also. 5 करोड़ का टर्नओवर तो रजिस्टर्ड होना चाहिए, रजिस्टर्ड है तो वहां पे कंप्लायंस भी बराबर होना चाहिए. अगर कंप्लायंस रेटिंग खराब है तो नहीं देखे लोग. तो कंप्लायंस रेटिंग विल बिकम वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन कमिंग डेज. ठीक है. सेक्शन 39 being saying furnishing the details for the month. Further this section says, subject to provision of section 37 and 38, if any registered person after furnishing the returns under subsection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is the regular GSTR 3, 4, 5, 6 what we have seen, discovers any omission or incorrect particulars therein, other than, this is important, other than as a result of scrutiny, audit, inspection or enforcement activity by tax authority, shall rectify such omission or incorrect particulars in the return to be furnished for the month or quarter during which such omission or incorrect particular is noticed, subject to payment of interest. Which means if I have noticed any error or omission in any particular month belongs to any previous month or quarter, I can always make rectification of that error. But it says that error or omission should not be out of as a result of scrutiny, audit, inspection or enforcement activity. So आपके यहाँ पे आगे डिपार्टमेंट वाले and they have identified something, or there is a scrutiny, there is a inspection or there is a enforcement, और आपने तुरंत उस महीने में उसको अपलोड कर दिया तो नहीं चलेगा. So any error or omission of the previous month or the previous quarter can be rectified during filing of this return, provided you are paying interest while making that rectification. You can either reclaim or you can either reverse. Anyway, this will be covered in MIS 1 and 2. ये आप reclaim कैसे कर सकते हैं या उसको reverse कैसे कर सकते हैं and so on and so forth. But again, this is allowed up to the filing of return for the month of September or filing the annual return whichever is earlier. Government is of the opinion that once the annual return is filed, which means you have accepted everything, तो उसके बाद there is no scope of making any changes. ठीक है. तो subsection 9, section 39 we are saying, and a registered person shall not be allowed to furnish the return if return for the previous period has not been filed. ये अभी वैट में भी था, तो पुराना रिटर्न अगर फाइल नहीं किया है तो उसके बाद का नया रिटर्न आप फाइल नहीं कर सकते unless and until you file the return for the previous period, and it is not the single return, my dear friends. GSTR 1, 2, 3. If return is not filed, 100 rupees per day, maximum 5,000 rupees. तो पहले 1 करो, फिर 2 करो, फिर 3 करो, with penalty करो. And if you are return filing the return belatedly, the penalty will be auto pop up. The interest will be auto pop up. कुछ नहीं का, कोई टेंशन नहीं इंटरेस्ट कैलकुलेशन का वगैरह, सब ऑटोमेटिक आ जाएगा उसमें. कौन दिमाग लगाएगा कितना इंटरेस्ट लगाएगा, आ जाएगा उसमें. एसएससी पूछता है ना कितना इंटरेस्ट लगेगा, लेट मी कंप्लीट बोलना जीएसटीआर, वो डाल दिया, ये देख कितना इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है, क्यों आ रहा है, वो निकाल गया, सिस्टम निकाल रही है उसको. यस with interest. There is no question of penalty. It will be reverse. It will be reverse. The credit allowed will be reverse, and you have to pay along with the interest. Do you think it is allowable? I don't think it is allowable expenditure. Again, we will not start the class of income tax right now, whether it is allowed or not. Shortage of fund is a business activity, and then it is allowed. We have our own cases, so many things. We'll see to it whether it is allowed or not. Yes.
Sir, referring to section 8.
I will not discuss rate of interest.
Referring
There
to
are three different rate of interest, you must be aware, for different thing. We will not discuss them. Yes.
Sir, referring to section 8, पेमेंट हम लोग को 20th का पहले करना चाहिए
क्या?
क्या अपने को जो पेमेंट है,
हाँ,
तो 20th का पहले करना है या फिर 18 को करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि immediate तो दिखेगा नहीं, after 2 days
they are saying it will appear immediately. Even one of my friend, he said I have paid 1 rupees and it appeared immediately, and it is appearing. Let us hope it will, otherwise it will be a big issue. It will appear immediately. Yes. किसी को भी नहीं मिलेगी वो, आप जब पे करोगे तो उसके अगले महीने में मिलेगी. वो प्रोविजनली क्लेम कर लेगा और अगले बार जब आप रिटर्न फाइल करेंगे तो मैच भी हो जाएगा, इश्यू खत्म हो. देयर इज अ स्कोप. यस, पार्डन फॉर रिटेलर्स.
GSTR 1 में फुल डिटेल्स देना पड़ेगा.
हाँ, वो आते हैं ना सर, उसके ऊपर आते हैं हम. सेक्शन 37 डिटेल्स ऑफ आउटवर्ड सप्लाई, सेक्शन 38 डिटेल्स ऑफ इनवर्ड सप्लाई, सेक्शन 39 डिटेल्स मंथली रिटर्न जो हमको फाइल करना है. And to conclude this section 39, there is a GSTR 1 file, there is a GSTR 2 file. Apart from this, there are other liabilities of the preceding tax period. This is part A of GSTR 3. When you open GSTR 3, details as per GSTR 1 auto-populated, details as per GSTR 2 auto-populated, and other liabilities of the preceding tax period will also be auto-populated. Then I was worrying that what is this other tax liabilities. अगर मेरा ex parte assessment हो गया है जिसमें उसने बोल दिया आपका 50 लाख का टर्नओवर है, कर रहे हैं ना, 5 लाख का टैक्स है, whether that 5 lakhs will also appear here. अगर वैसे होगा तो मर जाएंगे हम तो. Then the conclusion is only other liabilities related with the filing of the return will be auto populated here. आपने लेट फाइल किया था, इंटरेस्ट कम दिया था, कोई पेनाल्टी है आपने बराबर, जो भी है, that will be auto populated in part A of GSTR 3. So 1 key information, 2 key information, other liabilities will appear in part A of the return. Apart from this, taxes, penalty, interest जो है will debit credit to our ledger. This will also appear, and with this GSTR 3 will be completed. So as such GSTR 3 में कुछ नहीं करना है, GSTR 1 and GSTR 2 की information ही जाएंगी. And it has been said then when the limit of GSTR 3 is extended, GSTR 3B is required to be filed. We'll see the GSTR 3B also. और जब ये आया GSTR 3 डेट थोड़ी एक्सटेंड हो गई, रिलैक्स हो गई, तो सबको बड़ा लगा, अरे वाह थोड़ा आराम है. कोई आराम नहीं है फ्रेंड्स. GSTR 3B is a summary, and summary can be prepared with the details only. Otherwise summary कहाँ से बनेगी? तो details are required for purchases and sales, then you can prepare the summary. Actually government want tax, so they are saying you just upload the summary and pay the tax. You file GSTR 1 and 2 later on. So 20 अगस्त अब भी है, 14 दिन बचे हैं. आपको समरी अपलोड करना है, along with you have to pay the tax. And what is the date for this 3B? Everyone can see the GSTR 3B for the month of July has to be filed 20th August. ये महीने में अभी 20 तारीख. The GSTR 1 और 2 भी फाइल करना है उसका. 3B के ऑनलाइन नहीं है, लेकिन फॉर्मेट आ गए ना, फॉर्मेट आ गए, वो भी आ जाएंगे. अभी टाइम है ना, उनको भी टाइम है, हमारे पास भी बहुत टाइम है. अभी तो यार कल तो रिटर्न खत्म हुए इनकम टैक्स के, अभी कहा था. आ जाएंगे आ जाएंगे. कौन से? हाँ वो भी नहीं आया, आ जाएंगे, सब आ जाएंगे, आप टेंशन मत लो. ये 2017 में सब आ जाएगा. जुलाई का GSTR 3B अप टू 20th of August, GSTR 1 है अप टू 1 and 5 यानी 5 सितंबर तक आपको GSTR 1 फाइल करना है, 10 सितंबर तक GSTR 2 फाइल करना है. किसका? जुलाई का. अगस्त का अगेन 20th of सितंबर तक 3B फाइल करना है, 20th तक GSTR 1 फाइल करना है और 25th तक GSTR 2 फाइल करना है. और सितंबर ऑनवर्ड्स जो रेगुलर GSTR 1, 2, 3 चलने वाला है वो आपको फाइल करना है. तो फॉर द मंथ ऑफ जुलाई थोड़ा सा रिलैक्सेशन है, फॉर द मंथ ऑफ सितंबर थोड़ा सा. वैसे सितंबर में तो आपको ये भी करना है, टैक्स ऑडिट भी करना है, दिवाली में बच्चों के लिए कपड़े भी खरीदना है, पटाखे भी उड़ाना है और पता नहीं क्या क्या, क्या आपको करने वाला है. बी स्ट्रेस फ्री. इट इज वेरी सिंपल टू से बट इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू डाइजेस्ट. पता नहीं सितंबर में हम क्या क्या करने वाले हैं. लेट अस सी. सो रिटर्न्स रिलैक्सेशन फॉर द फर्स्ट 2 months इट इज अवेलेबल. एंड नाउ we'll proceed, we'll see how GSTR 1, GSTR 2 and GSTR 3 will look like. Before that, any question I will try to answer. Yes.
मैंने कोई रॉन्ग इनपुट क्रेडिट ली जिसका केस मेरा खुला नेक्स्ट दिसंबर के बाद, देन
किसने ली? आपने ली.
मान लो 3% मेरा टैक्स लगना था.
क्या क्या?
18% टैक्स लगना था.
हाँ?
और मैंने 3% ही टैक्स लगाया.
आपने, आप सेलर है, आपको 18% लगाना था, आपने कितना लगाया?
3% लगाया.
3% लगा दिया. चलो ठीक है.
नेक्स्ट दिसंबर के बाद केस खुला तो और मेरे को ऑफिसर ने कहा कि पे करना है विद इंटरेस्ट पेनल्टी एटसेट्रा.
ठीक
मैं
है,
पे भी कर दूंगा.
कर देंगे.
उसका क्रेडिट का क्या होगा?
नहीं मिलेगा.
खत्म.
क्लियर लिखा है. इस टाइप का कुछ भी रहा ना उसका कोई क्रेडिट नहीं मिलेगा. गवर्नमेंट घर पे ले जाएंगे. हाँ, एनी डिमांड से कोई पेमेंट गया तो उसका कोई क्रेडिट नहीं मिलने वाला है. हाँ यानी 3% का बिल है मेरे पास, वो उसका क्रेडिट मिल जाएगा मुझे. जो जितने का बिल है आपके पास और जितना उसने GSTR 1 में फाइल किया उसका क्रेडिट आपको पूरा मिल जाएगा. Any other question? Yes.
Sir.
हाँ 18% भरना था, 3% लगाना था, आपने 18% लगा दिया तो क्या होगा? कुछ नहीं होगा. आप उसका पेमेंट कर देंगे, मेरे को उसका क्रेडिट भी मिल जाएगा. आप जो 3 है वो गया आपका, यानी एक्सेस वो बोलेंगे आप आगे वाले से रिकवर, गवर्नमेंट थोड़ी देने वाली है आपको. गवर्नमेंट बोलेंगे आपने ज्यादा का लगाया, अभी ठीक है मुझसे वसूल करते और आपको वापस करते. नहीं. इवन देयर इज अनदर एग्जांपल. फॉर एग्जांपल नहीं, लेकिन 18 का लगाना था और लगाना चाहिए था 3 का. इन माय ओपिनियन इन दैट केस ओनली 3 इज अवेलेबल. एक्चुअली स्पीकिंग एज पर द लॉ द अवेलेबल इनपुट इज ओनली अप टू 3%. द हाँ जो एक्सेस रॉन्गफुली लगा है, यू आर नॉट एलिजिबल टू गेट दैट क्रेडिट एक्चुअली. बट सिंस इट विल बी अपीयर इन GSTR 2A एंड यू हैव अवेल्ड, तो आपको मिल जाएगा. लेकिन सब्सिक्वेंटली अगर वो पकड़ा गया तो जिसने उसका क्रेडिट लिया उससे भी वो वापस लेने वाले, वो भी नहीं मिलेगा सर. पक्का वापस लेने वाले. Yes.
So while filing GSTR 1, like you said, if I make an error, instead of 6 lakhs, I put 60 lakhs, and my purchaser is unregistered, so he's also not made any changes. So what should I do?
वो महीने में आपको पेमेंट करना पड़ेगा उसका. नेक्स्ट मंथ यू कैन चेंज इट.
Sir, but 6 lakhs ka if I punch 60 lakhs is going to be a lot of outflow. I
Yes,
don't
it
have
will
so
be
much
very
money.
lot of amount, and you have to pay for your mistakes. There is an option. You can pay through credit card. So pay. Don't pay to the credit card company. Are chartered accountants, we have a solution for everything. Pay through credit card, don't pay to the credit card company. Reverse in the next month. Next month's liability adjusted, pay to the credit card company. There is no other option available.
Can I just like not pay and file an invalid
No,
return?
you cannot. You cannot. You have to pay, then only it will be uploaded. So that is why, see, this cut and paste practice, we must avoid. Yes, always 5,000 रुपया पेनाल्टी दे दो, लेट फाइल करो, पर कब? नहीं तो कब करेंगे आप? अगले वाले ने उसको रिजेक्ट नहीं किया, वो कंफर्म हो गया, वो तो आएगा ही, आप उसके बिना आप आगे ही नहीं जा सकते. हाँ, पर आपको रिवर्स कैसे करेंगे उसको जो अपलोड हो गया है? आपने 60 लाख रुपए डाल दिया, आगे वाले ने भी उसको रिजेक्ट नहीं किया, वो चला गया आपके GSTR 3 में, अब उसको आप मॉडिफाई नहीं कर सकते. कट पेस्ट की प्रैक्टिस में आई ऑलवेज यूज टू गिव दिस एग्जांपल. एक सीए फर्म के पास कॉन्करेंट ऑडिट था, मई का हो गया, जून का ऑडिट करना था, वो टाइम नहीं था. उसने बोला ऐसे GST रिटर्न थे, बोले काम कर मई का ही कॉपी पेस्ट कर दे, कौन देखता है. तो आर्टिकल ने क्या किया, रिपोर्ट कॉपी पेस्ट किया. उसके बाद कंट्रोल F, फाइंड में, रिप्लेस जून, रिप्लेस ऑल, पूरा रिपोर्ट मई का जून हो गया, वैसे सबमिट कर दिया. प्रॉब्लम वहां पे हुआ जहां पे लिखा था तो मैनेजर मई कंसीडर होगा, मैनेजर जून कंसीडर. कट एंड पेस्ट की प्रैक्टिस इज वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट फ्रेंड्स. और एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल, एक ऐसे छोटा सा गांव था, कंप्यूटर जस्ट इंट्रोड्यूस हुए थे, किसने तो भी पार्टनरशिप डीड बनाया. उसमें जो आर्बिट्रेशन क्लॉज था वहां पे लिखा था कि इन द केस ऑफ डिस्प्यूट द मैटर विल बी रिफर्ड टू श्री श्री शंकर जी, कोई एक महाराज थे उनके, श्री श्री महाराज जी. इन द केस ऑफ डिस्प्यूट द मैटर विल बी रिफर्ड टू श्री श्री महाराज जी. उन्होंने डीड बनाया, किसी का फोन आया, तेरे पास डीड की कॉपी है, देना यार एक मेरे को थोड़ा. वैसे लेते हैं ना, एक दूसरे की कॉपी तो लेते हैं यार, उसमें कौन सी हर्ज है, प्रैक्टिसिंग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स. उसने कॉपी लिया, अगेन नेम ऑफ द पार्टनर चेंज, एड्रेस चेंज, रेशो चेंज, नेचर ऑफ बिजनेस चेंज, आर्बिट्रेशन क्लॉज रिमेन सेम. इन द मैटर ऑफ डिस्प्यूट द मैटर विल बी रिफर्ड टू श्री श्री महाराज जी. एक समय ऐसे हो गया पूरे गांव में सबके डीड में आर्बिट्रेशन क्लॉज वही था कि इन द केस ऑफ डिस्प्यूट मैटर विल बी रिफर्ड टू श्री श्री महाराज जी, पर कोई जानता नहीं था श्री श्री महाराज जी है कौन कर जिनको झगड़ा हुआ तो अब रिफर कर. तो कट एंड पेस्ट प्रैक्टिस इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. We should stop doing it. And in GST, I will also tell you another example कि ये see computerized काफी आसान है देखने के लिए सिस्टम से. if you are able to generate the data through your system, it is very simple to upload the return also. But please ensure that whatever your system showing you, whatever information you are extracting is correct, and then only upload. Because once it is uploaded, then it's become difficult. I will tell you another example how this can create havoc. One person who came to me, he was dealing in manganese ore, और मेरे पास जब आया उसके पिछले साल का उसका वैट ऑडिट हो गया था और उसमें कुछ 5-1 लाख का रिफंड था. When that person came to me, उसने बोला अपना रिफंड है सर, जरा देख लेना. वो रिफंड है तो नोटिस है, वी अपीयर्ड, सब बुक्स सब दे दिए उनको, सब बता दिया, सी फॉर्म ये फॉर्म वो सब कुछ होने के बाद फिर एक बार लास्ट बार मिलने गया. मैं आखिरी बार मिलना पड़ता है एक बार. आखिरी बार में जब मिलने गया तो वो जो सेल्स टैक्स ऑफिसर थे उसने मेरे को कहा, मिस्टर केलकर इसमें तो बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. मैंने पूछा व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम. उसने कहा इसमें तो कमोडिटी डेल्ट इन तो टेलीविजन सिलेक्ट किया है. 704 में कमोडिटी डेल्ट इन ड्रॉप डाउन आता था, उसमें मैग्नीज ओर की जगह सिलेक्ट हो गया टेलीविजन. मैंने बोला अरे ये टेलीविजन कैसे सिलेक्ट हो गया. नहीं बोले आप इसको रिवाइज करो. मैंने बोला देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन ऑफ रिवाइजिंग वैट ऑडिट रिपोर्ट. देन द एसटीओ सेड देन व्हाट वी कैन डू. मैं बोला जिसने वैट ऑडिट किया उससे मैं लिखवा के लाता हूँ. देन आई वेंट टू दैट सीए, उनको रिक्वेस्ट किया सर ऐसा ऐसा गलती हुआ है, आप चेंज कर दीजिए. सीनियर फेलो थे, उन्होंने बोला ठीक है. एक लेटर उन्होंने लिखा कि दैट वाज हैपेंड ड्यू टू ह्यूमन एरर, क्लरिकल एरर, एंड द कम्युनिटी शुड हैव बीन सिलेक्टेड एज मैग्नीज ओर, एंड दिस लेटर इटसेल्फ शुड बी ट्रीटेड एज रिवाइज्ड वैट ऑडिट रिपोर्ट. तो मैं बोला चलो काम तो हो गया अपना. मैं लेटर लेके एसटीओ के पास गया. एसटीओ बोले मिस्टर केलकर यू आर लेट, आई हैव पास द ऑर्डर. मैंने बोला कैन आई सी द ऑर्डर. ऑर्डर पे रेट 12% से लगाया था, मैग्नीज ओर पे 5% था, टेलीविजन पे कुछ 12% था, 12% से लगाया, बोले आप अपील कीजिए, मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकती, सिस्टम में आ गया है। अपील किया, अपील में 5 मिनट में वो हमारे फेवर में लग गया। 7 साल हो गए, इस साल में उसका अपील इफेक्ट देने का हमने एप्लीकेशन किया हुआ है, अब तक रिफंड नहीं मिला है। 5 लाख का रिफंड था, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट 12.5% इट वॉज कन्वर्टेड इनटू डिमांड। अभी वापस अपील में हम इफेक्ट कर दिया, हो गया है, लेकिन अब तक सो ओनली सिंगल मिस्टेक। किसके? नहीं नहीं, मैं गया था सर मिलने। मैं मिलने गया था, बट द STO said I cannot do anything because it is appearing in system. In system, the commodity is television and tax has to be 12.5%. You cannot do anything. So the point is that online filing, though it appears sometimes simple, it is not as simple as it is. So while filing GSTR return, again you should be, and it is not a one-time exercise, once in a year, yes, twice in a year वगैरह जैसे अब तक हो नहीं है. It is every month. तो हर मंथ में आपको इतनी चीजें आएंगी. अगर आपके पास 100 डीलर है, 200 डीलर है, तो हर एक के GSTR 1, 2, 3, उनके MIS, उनका फॉलोअप, और बढ़िया पैसे कमाने वाले हम लोग, है ना. यस सर, आपका कोई सवाल था? नहीं, ओके. सो GSTR 1 अभी हम देखते हैं GSTR 1 है कैसा, 1, 2, 3 कैसा है हम देखेंगे, और आई होप उसमें आपके बाकी के भी सवाल रिजॉल्व हो जाएंगे. सो हियर वी गो, GSTR 1, एंड GSTR 1 सेज नंबर 1 ईयर एंड मंथ. सो देयर इज नो फाइनेंशियल ईयर फ्रेंड्स. मुझे ये भी लगा कि क्या इसका मतलब ये है कि फाइनेंशियल ईयर और कैलेंडर ईयर एक होने वाला है, ऐसा बोल रहे हैं ना. देन आई केम टू नो दैट इवन इन एक्साइज इट इज लाइक दिस, देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल ईयर. सो ईयर एंड मंथ, देन उसके नीचे GST नंबर, उसके नीचे लीगल नेम, ट्रेड नेम, उसके नीचे का ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है एग्रीगेट टर्नओवर ऑफ द प्रीसीडिंग फाइनेंशियल ईयर. अभी तो बुक्स लिखना शुरू हुए हैं. प्रीसीडिंग फाइनेंशियल ईयर का टर्नओवर कहां से डालेंगे इसमें आप? अगर आपको डालना होगा, बी रेडी फॉर दैट. आप पहले एक डाल देंगे और बाद में एक डालेंगे, ऐसा चलेगा नहीं. फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट ईयर दिस फिगर विल बी ऑटो पॉपुलेटेड, टर्नओवर ऑफ द previous financial year. Now again question is there, what turnover you are talking? Turnover as per profit and loss account, or turnover as per your GST, or turnover as per your VAT gross turnover? No explanation, but turnover is required to be given, and it's saying aggregate turnover for April to June also. Next line. तो April to June में आपने क्या गुल खिलाया है वो भी आपको इसमें देना है. पता चला एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्रोथ है. आपने रजिस्ट्रेशन भी हम हमेशा देखते हैं, सीए लोग रजिस्ट्रेशन कब करते हैं? जब 5 लाख की लिमिट थी, सबकी प्रैक्टिस 4 लाख तक थी. लिमिट 10 लाख की हुई तो प्रैक्टिस 8 लाख पहुंच गई, है ना. अभी जीएसटी की लिमिट 20 लाख है तो एकदम प्रैक्टिस एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्रोथ होने वाला है. 15 लाख, 16 लाख, वो लोग लगेगा जीएसटी के कारण सीए लोग बहुत पैसे कमा रहे करके. तो आपको इवन अप्रैल में, जून में भी आपने क्या टर्नओवर किया है, इट विल बी अवेलेबल टू देम टू इन्फॉर्मेशन इजीली, कि पता चला पिछले साल में आपका टर्नओवर क्वार्टरली ऐसा था और इस बार इस क्वार्टर में इतना टर्नओवर हो गया. इन्फॉर्मेशन GSTR 1 वी आर टॉकिंग, 1, 2, 3 देखा. नाउ विल कम टू डिटेल्स. GSTR 1 का टेबल नंबर 4 सेज टैक्सेबल आउटवर्ड सप्लाईज मेड टू रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन अदर देन सप्लाईज कवर्ड बाय टेबल 6. What is table 6? We will see later on. Table 4 says taxable supply made to registered person, and this table talks about B2B supplies. So any B2B supplies or any supplies of which the purchaser is want to get the credit should appear in table number 4. Now what are the various columns of table number 4? GST number, invoice detail, number, date, value, rate, taxable value, GST amount, and place of supply. And if nothing has been selected, in my opinion, the place of supply will be the same state, that is 27 for Maharashtra. But if it is another state, place of supply has to be selected. The important part in this table 4 is the information in each row is to be given rate wise. So if there is a single invoice having 2 different commodities with 2 different rates, there will be 2 entries because the rate is different. The request is please see to it that your information is generated accordingly. Otherwise, you will not be able to file such detail. So table number 4, all outward supplies to B2B, that is to the registered person, and information has to be given in this order, in this fashion. Table number 4. Table number 5 says taxable outward supply to unregistered person, but it has to be interstate. Taxable outward interstate supply to unregistered person where invoice value is more than 2.5 lakhs. So to the registered person or to B2B, everything in table 4. Table 5, unregistered person, if it is interstate and if the value is more than 2.5 lakhs, table number 5. And what are the contents of table number 5? Place of supply, because it will be interstate, so there will be another state, invoice detail, rate, taxable value, IGST cess, and so on and so forth. Table 5 we are talking interstate supply to unregistered person, value is more than 2.5 lakh. In table 4 we have seen other than details required to be given in table 6, and table 6 is zero rated supply and deem export. वो export वाले सर बैठे वहाँ पे, एक्सपोर्ट वाला जो या जीरो रेटेड सप्लाई जो है, जीरो रेटेड सप्लाई या डीम्ड एक्सपोर्ट जो है आपका, उसके डिटेल्स आ जाएंगे आपके टेबल नंबर 6 में. सो टेबल नंबर 4 B2B, टेबल नंबर 5 इंटरस्टेट more than 2.5 lakhs to unregistered person, table number 6 zero rated or deemed export, table number 7 taxable supplies to unregistered person other than in table number 5. It means intrastate, within the state, supply to unregistered person, or interstate but the value is less than 2.5 lakhs. आपको यहाँ पे details देना है. And these details can be consolidated. A single entry is allowed. So any sale to, किसी ने मेरे को सवाल पूछा था, any sale to unregistered person for the month, a single detail can be given, but friends, the details are rate wise. Rate wise details देना है. So if you are a kirana व्यापारी, your dealer is a kirana व्यापारी or any big bazaar or anything like that, where there are no B2B, all B2C, no issue, you can give in a single line, but it has to be rate wise. Yes sir.
Sir, export with IGST, where it will be populated? In
Last.
Last.
6 number में.
But that says zero rated, that's the reason I asked it.
Zero rated supplies plus deemed export.
Deemed export.
Huh.
Okay. And if I have GST in 3 states, so when it says turnover, so I have to give turnover of P&L, previous year turnover, or state wise?
I am not getting.
Say I have a Delhi registration, I have a Bombay registration, I have a Gujarat registration. I will have to file the return. It will give me and first it will ask me previous year turnover.
Very valid question. Which turnover they are talking about? So whether I am expected to give Delhi turnover in Delhi return, Gujarat turnover in Gujarat return or not? There is no such answer, but in my opinion, it will be the total aggregate turnover.
Total aggregate. Oh.
Next year, as I said, it will be auto-populated. Next year, they will be getting it automatically. Yes. Let me complete GSTR 1 first, then we'll have the question. So 7, I was saying unregistered person sale, intrastate, no limit, interstate, more than 2.5 lakhs, that table number 5. Other things you can give here. There can be a single entry. If you see the offline mode available, GST का जो offline mode available है, that mode is taking entries invoice wise. However, they are appearing as a single entry. You can see that offline mode. Anyway, this information can be given in table number 7. Table number 8 is nil rated, exempted and non-GST outward supplies. So any nil rated, exempted or non-GST outward supply will be in the table number 8. Only the thing that if it is intrastate, it has to be given registered person, unregistered person. If it is interstate, it has to be given registered person and unregistered person.
GSTR 1 we are talking, this is table number 8. Now all the details of all your outward supplies are covered. Table number 9 says amendment to the taxward outward supplies detail furnished in the return for the earlier tax period in table number 456, including debit note, credit notes, refund voucher issued during the current period and amendment thereof. को तो भी मुझे पूछ रहा था. So any correction, any amendment of the previous tax period आप टेबल नंबर 9 में कर सकते हैं. इसके साथ कुछ डेबिट नोट, क्रेडिट नोट आपने जो इश्यू किए होंगे वो भी आप इसमें ही रखेंगे. इसमें खास चीज क्या है जरा ध्यान दीजिए. बोलता है डिटेल्स ऑफ ओरिजिनल डॉक्यूमेंट एंड डिटेल्स ऑफ रिवाइज डॉक्यूमेंट. हमारी जो प्रैक्टिस है कि हमारे जो क्लाइंट्स है वो तो हमारे रिश्तेदार है, हमारे दोस्त है, वो नहीं आया तो भी हम उसका वैट का रिटर्न फाइल कर देते हैं क्योंकि उसको 5,000 की पेनल्टी ना लगे. ये प्रैक्टिस जीएसटी में चलने वाली नहीं है. से फॉर एग्जांपल ड्यूरिंग एनी पर्टिकुलर पीरियड, से फॉर द मंथ ऑफ जुलाई, टर्नओवर है, कोई डिटेल नहीं है, नील का रिटर्न फाइल कर दिया. अगले महीने में रिवाइज तो होता नहीं है, क्या होगा? करेक्शन होगा. ये करेक्शन में से फॉर एग्जांपल देयर आर 100 इनवॉइसेस, अगले इसमें मैं ओरिजिनल डिटेल में क्या डालूंगा? कुछ भी नहीं. देयर कैन बी इंस्टेंस वेर इन से एक आध इनवॉइस छूट गया, दो छूट गए, तीन छूट गए, दैट कैन बी करेक्टेड. बट देयर कैन नॉट बी केस ऑफ 100 इनवॉइसेस, 500 इनवॉइसेस दैट यू फॉरगॉट टू मेंशन. सो इन माय ओपिनियन in GST regime there will be no question of filing nil return. or if file and then subsequently आपने उसमें bulk data डाल दिया तो very easily they can identify that only for the sake of saving taxes you have filed nil return. So that will not happen. One more thing, this is also asking about the original invoice detail and the new invoice detail. Now this original invoice detail will be matched against the details filed in the original return. तो उसमें क्या इनवॉइस नंबर था, इसमें क्या इनवॉइस नंबर था, वो भी ऑटोमेटिकली मैच हो जाएगा. डियर फ्रेंड्स, प्लीज एडवाइस टू योर क्लाइंट्स कि उनके इनवॉइस की डिटेल सिंपल रखे. 1 2 हैश डैश ए ऑब्लिक इन कॉमा एंड फिर ब्रैकेट, क्या क्या करते हैं ना इनवॉइस में. प्लीज स्टॉप डूइंग दैट. प्लीज सी टू इट दैट यू हैव सिंपल नंबरिंग ऑफ योर इनवॉइसेस, so that whosoever want to receive or whosoever furnishing the details of outward supply, they can be easily matched. और वो डैश स्लैश और कॉमा और पता नहीं क्या क्या आपने डाल दिया तो it will become difficult. Let us start this practice right now of having simplified version of your invoice numbering. Yes. Need details of original invoice, you have to say 0 or NA, that will see actual जब आएगा. But you can do it in my opinion, but it cannot be in bulk. That is my submission. 1 2 is fine. 10 out of 1010 you can always say that we missed them, but it cannot be out 900 out of 1000. You are saying we could not file in the last return, that will not be acceptable. Table number 9 we are saying. Table number 10, yes. So any supply on which the rate is 0 is, you can say, nil. Any supply exempt means that was taxable had it not been specifically exempted, is a exempt supply. And non GST supply जो GST के बाहर है ambit के. Yes, all the items of profit and loss. Nil, exempt and out of GST. Which salary? That is reverse charge. नहीं, वैसे भी एम्प्लॉय के ऊपर रिवर्स चार्ज तो देना नहीं है हमको. हाँ नहीं, वो एक्सपेंस का कोई सवाल नहीं. दिस इज GSTR 1. पेट्रोलियम नॉन GST, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आर ए बिल्डर, फॉर एग्जांपल कंप्लीटेड आपने फ्लैट बेच दिया, नॉन GST, उसके ऊपर GST तो है ही नहीं. हाँ, yes. तो such kind of, so all the credit side, everything will appear here. Either it is taxable or it is nil or it is 0 rated or it is exempt. It will come here. It has to be. You have to give the reconciliation at the end also. Yes. Which fixed deposit? Interest received, non-GST. Even for banks, why companies? Banks also. Interest is at present out of GST ambit. No. Whatever you have accounted in your books, that will appear here. It is not question of calculating afresh. Whatever way you calculate, compounded, simple, if you are debiting or if you are crediting in your books as a income, it will appear here that this is out of, because ultimately at the end of there will be a reconciliation. That we have covered already. Yes, I have shown na. What is your question? You are small scale, you are exporting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whether will be liable to pay IGST and where.
See, whether liable to pay IGST, I will not answer. Whether you will show in GSTR,
yeah,
you will show here. Table number 8. Yes.
Table number 8.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes. You are providing services. Okay. नहीं, provision of services covered under RCM का क्या? RCM is upon availing of the services. You are the GTA. Okay.
And we are providing services to registered person.
Okay.
In this case,
you are liable to pay GST.
No, we are not.
You are liable to register under GST.
We are registered under GST, but recipient in registered person, they
and
have
whatever
to pay
services you are providing as a transporter, recipient is required to pay tax on that.
Yes, yes.
You are not required to pay anything on that.
Yes.
It will come either in exempted or out of GST.
Okay, thank you.
How? There is no tax charge on this, na? Table 4. Outward supplies other than supplies made to e-commerce operator. Supplies made to e-commerce operator. Achha, this is table 5. Table 4. Supplies attracting tax on reverse charge basis. But the problem is, it appears to be, it should come here, but the question is, they are also asking for the taxable amount as well. The amount of tax they are also asking, na? They are asking for the amount of tax. You can see integrated CGST, SGST, and cess. How you will put? You will put 0 in that. You mean it should be? It appears it should be, but in my opinion, it is not here. It will be in that table. Where? 4B. Supplies attracting tax on reverse charge basis. Which one? No, this is the supply. GSTR 1. This will not be auto-populated. That is later on. This is we are filing right now. It is a fresh. GSTR 1 is a fresh. I think this is a new thing for me also. I will see to it. Might be. So I'm sorry to say that, but this is a particular new question for me. We'll see to it how it should be done. No issue. Yes. Yes, please. Invoice made in the month of June. Okay. Receipt in the month of July. Then in the month of July. Okay, then नहीं जून में आपने रेस कर दिया, आपने इनवॉइस रेस कर दिया, आपने उसको बुक कर लिया सेल्स करके, वो अप्रैल में जून के वैट या सर्विस टैक्स उसमें चला जाएगा. हाँ नहीं, जीएसटी में उसका कोई इम्पैक्ट नहीं है. इफ यू हैव बुक्ड इट इन यूर उसमें रिटर्न के क्या रूल्स थे उसके हिसाब से उसकी लायबिलिटी फिक्स होंगे, जीएसटी में दिया आएगा. यस सर. Pardon? Rent received on commercial premises. Okay. हाँ. इनवॉइस रेस करेगा ना वो. हाँ. नहीं, जो रेंट प्रोवाइड कर रहा है, मतलब जो सर्विस जिसका प्रीमाइसेस है वो रजिस्टर्ड है, आपका कहना है? इन द नेम ऑफ फर्म रजिस्टर्ड है, लेकिन प्रीमाइसेस इंडिविजुअल नाम पे है, तो वो कहाँ पे आएंगे उसमें? अगर वो प्रोप्राइटर है, तो रजिस्टर्ड फर्म नाम से क्यों ना हो, उसका इंडिविजुअल अगर रेंटल है तो उसके ऊपर भी उसको जीएसटी वसूल करना है। कहाँ से है?
B2B में?
हाँ, B2B में आएगा, वो इनवॉइस रेस करना पड़ेगा। उसके अलावा बैंक को कैसे मिलेगा उसका क्रेडिट? पर्सनल मांग पे उसमें ट्रेड देसी ऐसा है, एक मिनट, ऐसा है, आपने जब रजिस्ट्रेशन किया होगा तब आपने इसको डिक्लेयर करना चाहिए कि भाई मेरा बिजनेस इस नाम से भी है, मेरे को ये भी इनकम इसमें मिलता है। ऑल सेड एंड डन, वॉट एवर इनकम यू आर गेटिंग एज ए प्रोप्राइटर विल बी टैक्सेबल अंडर जीएसटी। Once they are taxable under GST, you have to raise an invoice. Number 1. Number 2, GSTR 1 में आपको जो recipient है उसके भी डिटेल्स डालना होगा, then only they get the credit. अभी सवाल आता है, बैंक उसको क्या मांग रहा है? इंडिविजुअल नेम से दो, तो अभी उसमें नया रास्ता निकालना पड़ेगा। इंडिविजुअल नेम से दो, नीचे में प्रोप्राइटर ऑफ करके डालो, ऐसा कुछ तो भी करना पड़ेगा ना। देयर हैज टू बी अ मिड वे। क्या? हाँ, वो तो आता ही है ना। नहीं, बट क्या नहीं, तो प्रॉब्लम वही तो बोल रहा, प्रॉब्लम थोड़ी हो रही है। नहीं, अभी ऐसा है, फॉर एग्जांपल अभिजीत केलकर इज एन इंडिविजुअल, अभिजीत केलकर एंड कंपनी इज फॉर एग्जांपल ट्रेड नेम। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट देयर आर अदर रिसिप्ट्स which are not forming part of the income of the Abhijeet Kelkar and company, which is the proprietorship. That can happen. In that case, that trade name not applicable to that rent receipt. Ultimately, we have to change the style we are keeping the books. We have to change the style we are accounting for the income as well. मेरे ख्याल से वो सब income जो rent आ रहा है वो भी वो individual के इसमें account for करना पड़ेगा, and then it can be shown. These are the practical difficulties that we are going to face for sure, but we can resolve them. मैंने कोई उसमें issue नहीं है सर, हो जाएगा वो. Even this also raises a very pertinent point कि आपके जितने even for example as a practitioner CS, if you are registered under GST, आपका जो टेलीफोन बिल है जिसका GST का क्रेडिट आपको लेना है, please ensure you have communicated your GST number to your company, the service provider, Airtel, BSNL जो भी हो, क्योंकि जब तक आप आपका GST नंबर उसको बताएंगे नहीं तब तक वो डिटेल्स में आपका नंबर लिखेगा नहीं, जब तक वो नंबर लिखेगा नहीं आपको उसका क्रेडिट मिलेगा नहीं. And this is applicable to everyone. So if you are a consultant for a bank, for example, please ask them, whosoever providing services to you, please see to it that you have given your GST number to that service provider. Then and then only when he filed the return, the credit is available to, otherwise credit will not be available. So merely availing the service, merely having the invoices, but that is not appearing in your GSTR 2A, you will not be getting the credit. Yes. Mike, please.
Hello. Sir, I want to ask, like a particular dealer is dealing in a second-hand vehicles. Then in that case, what will the value of the supply in table number 4?
नहीं समझा नहीं मैंने. सेकंड हैंड व्हीकल में आप डील कर रहे हो, आप उसको जिस वैल्यू पे बेचेंगे that is value of supply.
Value or the commission will be. What will the amount of supply in the table? It will.
एक मिनट, आप सेकंड हैंड कार के डीलर हो, आपने जिस फर्स्ट ओनर से परचेस किया है, परचेस, फिर उसने आपको सेल किया है, आप जो सेल जो वैल्यू करेंगे that is your value of supply. कमीशन कहाँ से आ गया इसमें? अगर आप ओनरशिप ट्रांसफर नहीं कर रहे, आप सिर्फ उसको किसी को बेच के दे रहे और उसमें का कुछ कमीशन आपको मिल रहा है, तो वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई विल बी योर कमीशन.
सर क्योंकि जनरली वो लोग ओनरशिप तो खाली ऑन पेपर
नहीं, जनरली नहीं, वी शुड टॉक अबाउट व्हाट इज द फैक्ट, वेदर ही इज परचेसिंग और वेदर ही इज जस्ट मतलब आस्किंग, soliciting a customer, selling the car and getting the commission. If he is purchasing and selling, the value of supply will be the value of sale. If he is just soliciting new customers, the value of commission will be the value of supply. GSTR 1 we are talking.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I have a question. I have a case, a company say registered in Maharashtra, which is a private limited company, generation of power sort of purview of GST. Now it has got registered because for RCM. Say example, director services, RCM is payable. Now we are taking services from other service provider. Take an example, chartered accountant service. Now we are not entitled to claim credit because we are not in GST and registered for RCM only. Now once our service provider will file returns, so credit will appear in our GST too. So how to take?
You have to reject it. You have to say the available credit is 0.
Okay.
Even you will come to see in GSTR 2 also there are other instances wherein you have purchased say capital goods, for example vehicle, and on which GST credit is not available. You have to specifically mention that this GST credit is not available, or say partially credit is available, say for example 50%. You have to mention it, because if you are not mentioning it, as I said earlier, if you have not done anything or if you are not rejected, it will be auto amended into your GSTR 2, and that you will be going to avail that credit for sure. And once you avail that credit, it amounts to taking wrong credit. So you have to be sure that whatever credit you are getting, that is the actual available credit to you. So this is GSTR 1, table number 8. Table number 9, we were talking amendment to the mistakes in the previous file return in table number 9. Table number 10, amendment to the details of supply to unregistered person of the previous month. जो भी डिटेल्स है उसमें अमेंडमेंट करना है. 11, consolidated statement of advance received, advance adjusted. So GST is payable on advance as well. So far as advance is concerned, this will appear in table number 11. Table number 2, HSN wise summary of outward supply. Now till now it has been exempted for particular suppliers up to some extent, but for others it is required to be given. So details of supply should be given HSN wise, and in my opinion this will be applicable to everyone in coming days. So supplies HSN wise details are required to be given by everybody in near future. Right now it is I am having chart with me, it is only applicable to few. The most difficult, undigestible, confusing part of GSTR 1 is table number 13. Table number 13, it asks what documents issued during the tax period. And what documents? Invoices for outward supply, invoices for inward supply, revised invoice, debit note, credit note, receipt voucher, payment voucher, refund voucher. And what? How? Reference serial number from to. Then total number, cancelled and net issued. पूरे महीने में कितने आउटवर्ड सप्लाई के इनवॉइस फ्रॉम से टू, फिर उसमें टोटल कितनी है, उसमें से कैंसल कितने हुए और नेट किस है. आई डोंट थिंक दिस इज पॉसिबल टू बी गिवन. इफ देर आर मोर देन वन लोकेशन, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपका एक यहाँ भाईंदर में भी एक है, एक थाना में है, एक दादर में है, हर एक का इनवॉइस अलग अलग सीरियल नंबर से चलता है, तो ये कैसा देने वाले इसमें. गॉड इज द ओनली पर्सन हु कैन टेल द आंसर कि ये कैसे देना है, बट दिस इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू जनरेट. वन टू जनरेट टू गिव मल्टीपल रहेगा तो और प्रॉब्लम है. यस, you can insert, but it is very difficult. The point is, it is very difficult. It is unnecessary. That is my point. This kind of information is at present unnecessary. We are struggling with the existing rate of tax, existing HSN code, and this and that. And now you are asking about the serial number of the invoices. That is going to be a big problem. And when there are multiple locations, to go further, if this net issued is being tallied with the table number 4, for example, net issued invoices are, say, you say 78, and your total row in the table number 4 are 79, or say 76, what will happen? You will get the immediate notice that there is a mismatch between table number 13 and table number 4. So any such kind of mismatch may occur. So in my opinion, this table number 13 is simply useless, time being. How to tackle it, we will see in the future. Table number 13, yes? Yes, it is compulsory. It is compulsory. नहीं होगा ना. अभी तक तो ऐसा ही, अभी आएंगे, they will come out with some solution. See, ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता, करो बोले तो करना ही पड़ेगा. जब अपना टैक्स ऑडिट रिपोर्ट आया था, किसी का पैन अवेलेबल नहीं है तो क्या करते थे? नो पैन 1 2 3 4 ए, है ना, सिंपल है ना. हमने बता भी दिया पैन नहीं है करके, और डाल भी दिया, नो पैन 1 2 3 4, ऐसा कुछ तो भी करना पड़ेगा इसमें। हाँ नहीं वही सी मैंने आपको और एग्जाम ना, मल्टीपल लोकेशन है वो कैसा इसमें आएगा, किसी ने ये भाई साहब ने कहा रो वाइज डालना पड़ेगा, ठीक है मतलब इतना आसान नहीं है, इशू है ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट एंड दे शुड रिमूव दिस। सो लेट अस सी व्हाट विल हैपन। एट प्रेजेंट दिस इज कंपलसरी, लेकिन इसको GSTR 1 को सर टाइम है अभी, है ना, 5 सितंबर पहला है, यानी अगस्त महीने में तो ज़्यादा टेंशन नहीं लेने का, गणपति वगैरह हो गए उसके बाद में हम देखेंगे GSTR 1, 25 तारीख से गणेश जी आएंगे, उसके बाद देखेंगे इसको क्या करना। सो दिस इज द लिस्ट, एवरीबडी इज अवेयर किसको HSN कोड देना है किसको नहीं देना है, विल नॉट सी दैट। एंड दिस इज टू कंक्लूड GSTR 1 रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन है, इंटर स्टेट हो या इंट्रा स्टेट हो, B2B है, you have to give details invoice wise. If it is unregistered person, it is interstate, the sale value is more than 2.5 lakhs, then only details are required to be given. Unregistered person इंट्रास्टेट है, कंसोलिडेट दे सकते हैं, इंटरस्टेट है 2.5 लाख के नीचे तो भी कंसोलिडेट दे सकते हैं, लेकिन इट हैज टू बी गिवन रेट वाइज। इसका अगर हम एक एग्जांपल देखें तो फॉर एग्जांपल मिस्टर ए कैरीड आउट द फॉलोइंग ट्रांजैक्शन, बायर BCDEH है, रजिस्टर्ड है क्या, यस है, बाकी सब नो है, इनवॉइस वाइज दिया है, रेट ऑफ टैक्स दिया है। ये डिटेल्स बताएंगे कैसे हम, बी बिंग रजिस्टर्ड अलग से जाएगा, सी बिंग अनरजिस्टर्ड 25,000 रुपए है, ये अलग से जाएगा, बट रेट ऑफ टैक्स उसका 5% है इसलिए अलग जाएगा। डी और ई अनरजिस्टर्ड है 5,000 और 15,000, ये सिंगल में चले जाएंगे लेकिन रेट ऑफ टैक्स 12% पे आएगा। और एफ अनरजिस्टर्ड है लेकिन 3 लाख है, 2,50,000 के ऊपर है तो वो भी अलग से जाएगा। तो आपका जो भी सॉफ्टवेयर है, टैली है, जो भी आप इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, प्लीज सी टू इट दैट द इंफॉर्मेशन इज जनरेटेड अकॉर्डिंग टू द रिक्वायरमेंट एंड दिस हैज टू बी इंश्योर राइट नाउ, क्योंकि जब ये हमको करने वाले तब हम ये रियलाइज करेंगे कि ऐसा निकलना चाहिए और तब चेंजेस करेंगे तो शायद मेरे ख्याल से देर हो जाएगी। तो अभी से इंश्योर कीजिए कि आपका जो भी सॉफ्टवेयर आप जो भी कर रहे हैं उसकी इंफॉर्मेशन इसके अकॉर्डिंगली जनरेट हो रही है। सो दिस इज GSTR 1, GSTR 1A, GSTR 2 जो फाइल होगा मुझे जो अपीयर होगा डेट इज GSTR 1A। GSTR 1A में कुछ विशेष देखना की जरूरत नहीं है, विल स्किप दैट। GSTR 2 विल सी इन डिटेल। Now GSTR 2 again, GST number, legal name, trade name, then तीसरा थर्ड टेबल क्या बोलता है, inward supplies received from registered person other than supplies attracting reverse charge. Most of it will be auto populated, 2A से आ जाएगी इसमें। others जो है B2B जितनी है, जितने का क्रेडिट आपको लेना है सब आ जाएगा आपका टेबल 3 में। अगेन GST number of supplier, inward detail, rate wise हमको देना है, value GST हमको देना है, and so on so forth. This is table number 3. Table number 4, inward supplies on which tax is to be paid on reverse charge. तो आपका जो रिवर्स चार्ज जिस केस में आपने रिवर्स चार्ज में पेमेंट किया है वो सब डिटेल्स आ जाएंगे आपके टेबल नंबर 4 में। क्या क्या डिटेल्स आएंगे, GST नंबर, इनवॉइस डिटेल, रेट, टैक्सेबल वैल्यू, अमाउंट ऑफ टैक्स, प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई, वेदर इनपुट, देखिए इसमें ये कॉलम वेदर इनपुट और इनपुट सर्विस कैपिटल गुड्स इज इनएलिजिबल, so even if you have paid, if it is not eligible आपको यहाँ पे yes or no देना पड़ेगा, then he will not take it as a receivable amount. So this is table number 4, inward supplies on which tax is to be paid on reverse charge. Table number 5, input capital goods received from overseas or from SEZ units on the bill of entry. उसमें भी आप टेबल नंबर कॉलम नंबर 9 देखेंगे, which talks about whether input capital goods inclusive of plant and machinery ineligible for ITC. So even if you have purchased input as capital goods received from overseas, if they are ineligible आपको यहाँ पे उसको देना होगा। 6 amendments to the details of the previous returns. Again previous return के जो details है टेबल नंबर 6 में आपको इसको अमेंड कर सकते हैं आप। इसमें अगेन डिटेल्स ऑफ ओरिजिनल इनवॉइस, डिटेल्स ऑफ न्यू इनवॉइस, सब डिटेल्स आपको इसमें देना पड़ेगा। टेबल नंबर 7 टॉक्स अबाउट सप्लाईज रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम कंपोजिशन टैक्सेबल पर्सन and other exempt, nil rated and non GST. So all these details will be in the table number 7. Table number 7 again interstate और intrastate दोनों देना है आपको। Table number 8 ISD credit received जो है उसके डिटेल्स इसमें आएंगे। Table number 9 TDS and TCS credit received, इसके डिटेल्स टेबल नंबर 9 में आएंगे। So table number 10 again एडवांस के ऊपर जो हमने क्लेम किया है it will forming part of table number 10. Table number 11, amendment to information furnished in table number 10 of the earlier month. अगर उसमें कुछ चेंजेस है तो वो आ जाएगा टेबल नंबर 11 में. टेबल नंबर इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट रिवर्सल एंड रिक्लेम. रिवर्सल का मतलब होता है हमने लिया था और अभी हमको उसको रिवर्स करना पड़ेगा, उसके डिटेल्स में आएंगे, मिसमैच या इसके कारण. रिक्लेम यानी हमने क्लेम नहीं किया था, अभी वी आर एलिजिबल फॉर क्लेम, यू कैन ऑलवेज रिक्लेम. आपके नेक्स्ट सेशन में रिवर्सल और रिक्लेम के ऊपर शायद आपको और ज्यादा डिटेल में बताया जाएगा. इट विल बी फॉर्मिंग पार्ट ऑफ टेबल नंबर 11. टेबल नंबर 12, एडिशन एंड रिडक्शन ऑफ अमाउंट इन आउटपुट टैक्स फॉर मिसमैच एंड अदर रीजन. रीजंस भी जिसमें दिए हैं, जिसमें आप ऐड करेंगे या आप लेस करेंगे. रीजंस भी दिए हैं A to F. वन कैन read them and can clearly understand, there is no issue. Table number 12. Table number 13, HSN summary of inward supply. Likewise, HSN summary of outward supply in GSTR 1, GSTR 2 is having HSN summary of inward supply, and that's why I was saying कि one must ask his supplier to put HSN number on his invoice, and please start this practice from day 1. So when it is applicable to you, you will be having, and whatever tally or whichever software you are using, it should be used along with the HSN code as well. So it will be auto generated. Table number 13. So this is the GSTR 2 in nutshell. Any question? We have seen GSTR 1, GSTR 2. Yes. One by one, please. Yes. Yes. Okay. You have received 1 lakh. Supplied only 50,000. Okay. No, you can show it as advance, but you have to pay GST on full 1 lakh rupees. Full 1 lakh rupees. In books, you can show advance as 50,000 rupees, but so far as GST is concerned, you will pay GST on full 1 lakh rupees. In the same month. Yes, for that month. For that month. GST will pay on full 1 lakh rupees. So far as appearing in GST return is concerned, 50,000 will appear in advance section, 50,000 will appear if you have raised the invoice, then will appear in that table number 4. If not, everything will appear in that advance section. That you have to mention. Yes, yes. I agree. Yes. That can be a problem. There are going to be many problems in tally also. Let me explain. अभी तक क्वांटिटी वाइज डिटेल्स आए नहीं है. हम सप्लाई की बात कर रहे हैं, 2 की बात कर रहे हैं. एक मिनट यहां पे एक तो दिख नहीं रहा होगा. Yes, HSN summary inward supply description UQC यूनिक कोड क्या पता नहीं क्या UQC क्या है. टोटल क्वांटिटी, टोटल वैल्यू, टोटल टैक्सेबल वैल्यू नहीं, पर वो नहीं अभी मेरे ख्याल से फॉर द कमिंग 6 month क्वांटिटी डिटेल्स विल बी नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू बी गिवन इन माय ओपिनियन, दो इट इज अपियरिंग इन GSTR 1, बट इट विल बी स्पेसिफिकली गिवन कि भाई 6 महीने आपको देना नहीं. अदरवाइज इट इज नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल टू गिव, नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल. It will be, it will, sir, effect will be given in the form itself by the department that for this particular period don't give this information. Had it not been given, then you have to do it, that is for sure. Yes.
2.5 lakh limit is per invoice. 2.5 lakh limit is per invoice.
Per invoice. It is rate wise. Rate wise. Yes. If you are not paying to the supplier, that will be reverse. And अभी हमने जो reverse का देखा ना, उसमें उसको reverse करना पड़ेगा.
उसके अंदर डाल के.
Yes, yes. आया ना, एडवांस का दिया था ना, आया ना, परचेस में भी एडवांस का। ये
कौन सा एडवांस है? जो समझो 1 लाख रुपीस मुझे एडवांस मिला पार्टी से,
हाँ?
वो तो एडवांस रिसिप्ट वाउचर में मैं बता दूंगा GSTR 1 में,
ठीक है।
और बाद में जो परचेज में जो आपने एडवांस बताया वो कौन सा है? एडवांस का कुछ डिटेल्स है ना परचेज का, जो ये GSTR 2 में जो बताया?
नहीं, आपको जैसे जिसको एडवांस मिला वो बताएगा ना, तो जिसने एडवांस दिया उसको भी तो बताना पड़ेगा ना।
अच्छा, उसको भी बताना
पड़ेगा, उसको अगेंस्ट एडवांस आएगा। दोनों को मिलेगा ना सर, एडवांस का एक को
नहीं, लेकिन सर उसको क्रेडिट नहीं मिलेगा ना इनपुट का एडवांस पे तो?
हाँ, नहीं, क्रेडिट गुड्स नहीं मिले तो नहीं मिलेगा।
हाँ, तो जो वो तो जब इनवॉइस बनेगा तभी
यस, वो तो क्रेडिट तो तभी मिलेगा जब इनवॉइस मिलेगा और ये
शो करना पड़ेगा।
यस।
ओके।
GSTR, yes. HSN wise,
summary is required for reverse charge as well. Say if I am paying something on reverse charge.
No.
That is not required.
But मुझे लगता है वो भी हो जाएगा कुछ दिन बाद। Yes. हाँ? कहाँ पे? हाँ? नहीं, वो अभी नहीं है कॉलम में कहीं, अभी नहीं है। जून का और आपको वैट इसका किसका स्टॉक का या जो है वो इसमें नहीं है मेरे ख्याल से। उसका ट्रांसफर अभी अपने सेशन में होगा, वो डायरेक्टली आपका ये जो है 3 जो है उसमें उसके लायबिलिटी में वो एडजस्ट हो जाएगा, इसमें कुछ नहीं देना है उसको। हाँ, क्या नहीं होगा ना, यूज होगा। अभी आपने लेटेस्ट चर्चाएं देखी होगी जो चल रही है कि GSTR 3B इज नॉट हैविंग दैट कॉलम, तो वो आ जाएगा। अभी तो सिर्फ फॉर्मेट आया, वो जो ऑनलाइन उसमें कॉलम आ जाएगा, वो फिलहाल नहीं आ रहा लेकिन। यस, हाँ, आपके पास एडवांस पड़ा है, आपने बिल रेज किया था क्या साहब? आपने सिर्फ एडवांस लेके रखा था, आपके बुक्स में खड़ा है। बिल कब रेज करने वाले आप? हाँ, तो अगर आपके पास एडवांस पड़ा है और आपने उसको अकाउंट फॉर कर लिया है पुराने साल में, तो उसके ऊपर GST देने का सवाल ही नहीं आता। हाँ जी,
उसका GST मिलेगा?
किसका?
कैपिटल आइटम फॉर एग्जांपल कंप्यूटर परचेज किया, उसमें
प्लांट एंड मशीनरी का मिलेगा। अगेन विल नॉट टॉक अबाउट इनपुट क्रेडिट अवेलेबल, हम बात नहीं करेंगे।
कंप्यूटर का नहीं मिलेगा?
हाँ,
कंप्यूटर का
मिलेगा ना, मिलेगा।
कंप्यूटर पार्ट्स
मिलेगा, सब मिलेगा। इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी का नहीं मिलेगा। अगेन क्रेडिट किसका मिलेगा इज अ सेपरेट सवाल। आप एक पूछेंगे फिर यहाँ से अब इसका क्या होगा,
प्रोफेशनल,
फिर वहां से अब उसका क्या होगा।
प्रोफेशनल फीस जैसे पेमेंट किया, उसका रिवर्स चार्जेज भरा है GST, तो इसमें किसमें बताना पड़ेगा?
किसमें?
प्रोफेशनल फीस पेमेंट किया
है ना हमने GSTR 2 में, रिवर्स चार्ज में जो पेमेंट किया है वो आ जाएगा GSTR 2 में।
और जैसे मान लो ये मंथ में इनकम नहीं है, सेल्स का इनवॉइस नहीं रेज किया है, केवल क्रेडिट है, तो वो आगे कैरी फॉरवर्ड मिलेगा?
कैरी फॉरवर्ड मिलेगा, बिल्कुल मिलेगा। क्या क्या? विच आउटस्टैंडिंग एडवांसेस? नहीं, देखिए इन्होंने एडवांस ले लिया है, इन्होंने बुक्स में एडवांस करके खड़ा कर दिया है और ये बोलते हैं मैं उसको कुछ नहीं करने वाला, तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला। लेकिन आगे वाले दिनों में अगर ये इसको फिर कुछ इफेक्ट देना चाहते हैं, जैसे इनवॉइस रेज करेंगे या कुछ बताएंगे, तो वो टैक्सेबल हो जाएगा। तब अगर बुक्स में एडवांस करके खड़ा है तो वो एडवांस करके खड़ा है, तो अक्टूबर के इसमें जाएगा। नहीं, क्यों होगा जुलाई में टैक्सेबल? अक्टूबर में होगा, जुलाई में। अभी इनकम टैक्स में आपको देखना पड़ेगा, इनकम टैक्स वाले बोलेंगे ये अनएक्सप्लेन क्रेडिट क्यों खड़ा है करके, किस चीज का एडवांस है, वो उसको टैक्स में जोड़ देंगे। सो I thank the yes. Last question, please. हाँ, यानी जून में मिला है? नहीं, GST की बात कर रहे हैं आप? ओके, जुलाई में एडवांस मिला है और जुलाई में उसको सप्लाई हमने कर दिया। ओके, नहीं, ओनली सप्लाई का इनवॉइस जो बनेंगे वो आपका टैक्सेबिलिटी में आ जाएगा, वही आएगा, एडवांस नहीं आएगा। लेकिन आपको जुलाई में एडवांस मिला है और आपने बिल उसका अगस्त में बनाया, तो जुलाई के इसमें एडवांस में वो टैक्स हो जाएगा उसके ऊपर, जुलाई में कुछ नहीं होगा उसमें। So I am, to conclude, I must confess that like you, I am also a student, and even I have not filed a single GSTR return till date. And believe me friends, I thought that it is my duty to share with my professional colleagues the information which I have gathered, so that we at the time of actual filing will be ready with at least 90% of the information, that which information is required and where it is to be given. So this was my humble attempt to let you know that how you should make your data ready for filing of the return. So far as some peculiar questions are concerned, like the transport agency or any particular question, we all are practicing chartered accountants, and we will see to it that the information will be given in a required column. But that can happen only when actual form is live and we are actually giving the data. And I wish that maybe 6 months down the line, I will be coming again with the live demo of how information to be given, where to be given. Till that time, all the best. Be ready with your data, because as I said, you are the only practitioner who will be looked after to do all the GST compliances. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelkar ji. Really, in a wonderful way, you introduced yourself to the audience. I request our chairman to offer a memento in the form of a book to our speaker. I request them, our participants, to be seated for another next 2-3 minutes. The last function is vote of thanks. On behalf of each one of you, I wish to express the sincere thanks to the speaker. He is a good speaker, I need not repeat that. He is well versed in GST and the practical aspect of GST. Sir, thank you very much. You are a humorous speaker. Thank you very much for that. You are a practicing chartered accountant and speaker. Thank you very much, sir. You are a good communicator. For that I express my sincere thanks. You are a good teacher. For that I express my sincere thanks. You have come all the way to enlighten us, to make our practice better. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.